Welcome to Save the Game Media's top 10 games of the year for 2022. I am your host for today's proceedings, Kevin, aka the Muffin Man, and I'm joined by most of the hosts from Save the Game Media's network. I'll go around and introduce them. First up, we have from No Limits, a PlayStation podcast, the host, Taylor. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm breathing today, Kevin.
Always good to be breathing.
Oxygen.
It's a requirement.
Yep.
Well, we are also joined by his co-host, the fabulous Brianna herself. How are you doing?
I'm doing so well. I finally whipped out my PlayStation Christmas sweater. I know Christmas was yesterday, but when else are you gonna wear it? You know.
Let me just
Is
say,
that like official merch?
Bree has been
Nice sweater.
Bree's been
Thank you.
carrying the past like 3 to 4 weeks. Her, Nick, Will, and Ethan have all just been like putting me on their shoulders. So let me give a public thank you to everyone over there.
Mostly
who was in
Brianna.
the- and Brianna.
Do not veer credit to people outside of this organization.
All right, Nick.
Whatever.
And Will,
I
thanks for your
appreciate
patient
Nick and
money.
Will so much.
I love them.
It's a
I'm
both
totally
on
just
reverence.
kidding. Totally just kidding, by the way. We are also joined by my Project X Talk co-host, Mr. Physical Copy. Ethan, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. I'm glad to be back with a bigger crew. This is fun. So yeah, glad to be back and doing Game of the Year. This is going to be a spicy episode, I feel like, because things got testy during the year with a couple of these game reviews. I want to see that come out again, Kevin. We're going to need to see that.
Well, I know
I've been dreading this.
the list, and you guys don't. So
I
this
know,
is
I
going to be
can't.
fun.
This is why I've been dreading this. I'm telling you, I will literally pay somebody next year so that I don't have to deal with this. Because
Seriously,
Kevin
we just need to
knowing
get
and nobody
through 10
else
through
knowing
5.
is the worst.
10
it's
through
gonna
5
get
needs
so
to be the
much
first 10
worse.
minutes, and then let's get the top 5 out.
And Tom will join us hopefully at some point. He's running a little behind, but we are also joined by our guest contributor. You'll see him on the Anime Cast sometimes, and Save the Game Boy recently, our Patreon exclusive Nintendo show he was on, talking all things Pokemon. My brother, Kyle, how you doing?
I am tired. I'm very tired. Christmas took a lot out of me.
Pregnant pause. I played a
Christmas took a
sweet
lot out of me.
board game yesterday called Code Names. Is anyone familiar
Oh, it's
with
great.
this game?
I played
It's
Codenames.
so good.
It's tight. Yeah.
No.
So good, Taylor. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's very good.
If we all meet up, I'm gonna grab it.
Yeah,
We can
bring
all
it.
play. It'll be a lot of
Yeah.
fun. It'll be a lot of
I
fun.
played it a few
Oh,
years ago.
I suggested
Kyle.
to Bree
what I was
save
just bringing up.
the game media karaoke.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that'd be good. Too.
Oh, that's
Oh.
you got to get a few drinks to me first. Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
no, I think we should do
Yeah.
karaoke because it'll be super fun. I did karaoke over the weekend with like my dad's friends, and they were singing a bunch of songs I didn't know, and I was like, this would be great if it was people that knew the songs I know.
I don't know any songs, so it's like, okay.
As long as wherever we do karaoke
We'll
gives
give-
you the lines so
Oh,
that
of
you don't have
course.
to do it from memory.
Isn't that like part of karaoke?
I've never
Yeah, that's right.
karaokeed in my life. So
Oh
I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
know if
They don't ever just make you wing it.
Oh,
If they
okay.
made you wing
That's
it, I would
dangerous.
choose like the simplest songs in the world.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we're not here to talk about karaoke. We're here to count down our top 10 games of 2022. They don't have to have come out in 2022. So the way this is going to work is everyone has provided me, even people that aren't here, like Sam, maybe he be healing well, has provided me.
Oh, I thought you were
with a
gonna say,
list.
"May he rest in peace."
No,
That's what I
thought
thought
too,
you was
Bree.
going to.
No,
I was
because he
like, damn.
actually was hurt. I only do it for healthy people, okay?
Okay.
They've all provided me with their top 10 list in order, and I have compiled our master list for Save the Game Media. The way it's done is if you put it at number 1, it gets 10 points. If you put it at number 10, it gets 1 point, and then you fill in the rest in between. Pretty easy to explain. Stay tuned because it's probably going to be a long episode. We're going to go through our top 10 list, but
I mean, they can
before
probably see the time code already.
Oh yeah,
They're
I'll
like,
probably
"Oh,
put some. I
Jesus
could probably put
Christ."
some tans. I could probably put some timestamps too, in case
Yeah,
they
we
want
should,
to
we should
jump
time
around.
stamp this for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. Oh,
There he is.
Tom has arrived.
there's
Everyone,
Tom.
Christmas tree's
Just in
still up.
time.
just
The other
before we
guy's name
get
starts with
into
D.
it,
It's only been a day. I'm not going to take out my
We took
tree
ours
yet.
down today
Well, I'm wearing, yeah, I was gonna say,
Why-
I'm wearing my sweater.
because it was dying. It's a real Christmas tree. It was already up since Thanksgiving.
Tom, are you on the wrong mic again?
No, I'm on the Yeti.
I think he's on the right
Sounds better.
I'm good.
Yeah, we're good.
Now,
I gotta turn.
my
I
neighbors
gotta
are
turn
literally
it down.
playing their piano. Do you guys hear it?
Nope.
one.
No,
No,
Okay,
you're
perfect.
no. It would be nice
Great.
to have some background jazz, though.
Yeah.
Make them turn it up.
You like jazz?
You're
Turn
like
up
pounding on the
piano
wall.
if you can
Turn
do
it
that.
up.
Yeah. just
Play
harder.
louder.
Some EDM.
I'll just start kicking at the house. Wake up.
Wake me
Kevin,
up.
real quick, before
Yeah.
you get into this, I need to file a complaint.
With what?
You told me when I made my list that the game had to be from 2022.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, I said preferably it'd be from 2022.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna.
We
I
need
will
to
say,
institute a
My
rule
list,
about
I
this.
only put games from 2022 because I felt like that would have been the nature of the.
I had to fluff
Yeah.
my list.
Yeah, so
Kyle.
did I.
Kyle, Genshin Impact wasn't making top 10 regardless of what you did.
It
You
doesn't
did, okay,
matter.
buddy?
It doesn't matter. I played other games.
Okay, but you Hyper Dimension Neptunia games aren't making the top 10 list. I don't know what to tell you,
They
bro.
should. They should.
Guys, if
All
you
right, hit us
want
with
to,
number 10.
well, hold on. We're a little ways off of that. All right, we gotta do the
patrons that we
rigmarole.
got shout out.
Yeah. So thank you, Ethan. This show and all other shows on our network are made possible by our wonderful patrons over at patreon.com/savethegamemedia. So if you want to head over there, choose the tier that's right for you. You can get exclusive bonus content just like our current patrons. So thank you, Bucky Blue, Hopple, Alpaca Tom, Amon, Fabulous Brianna, Brianna's mom, Brianna's brother, Brianna's wife, Anna Hudak, Nikolai at Night, Cypher, Primus, Brendan Myers, Marcus O'Neill, Lillian, Mimi J, and the Snack Network. Thank you all. We support every single.
Every
Thank you
time
for
I
your
hear
support.
Mimi J, I love it so much. It makes me so happy.
We
It's like a
appreciate
little spark of joy.
I don't know why.
I don't know. It's just like the way that it's said, like Mimi J. Like that's just like it's so beautiful to me.
You're gonna start
Sounds like
crying
a
about that
pop
too,
artist
Bree?
name.
It does sound like a pop artist name, and I am always like a few seconds away from crying, so I wouldn't be
Yeah, I
surprised.
don't get it.
Yes.
All right, guys. So
Life's
before
hard,
we
Taylor.
get into the top 10, we're going to do a fun little exercise that I like to call your most disappointing games of the year.
Me and Bree already
Oh.
got this unlocked.
Oh no, I got this on lock and I'm so mad about it. I don't even want to.
Oh yeah, I know.
Go off.
And I mean, I'll kick off proceedings because there's really only one game I gotta put on blast here.
If you put the game I think you're gonna put on blast, I'm gonna come.
I know
for
what game you put on blast.
Okay.
Mario Strikers Battle
Oh yeah,
League.
I remember this whole.
You took a beloved franchise, one of your best sports games, Nintendo, and you put out this garbage. I played this game for a total of 8 hours, 8 long, miserable hours. There's no content. Online play is terrible. You can't play with your friends. Who puts a club mode where they're like 4-player co-op and then lets you do 2 players? Doesn't make any sense, Nintendo. Terrible decisions all around. This game, biggest disappointment, waste of money. I can't believe they put this garbage out. I don't know what else to say. I'm furious at it. That is my biggest disappointment of the year by far.
Yeah, you wouldn't stop talking about like the first 4 or 5 months of this year. Remember every Project X talk I was like egging you on. So how's Mario Strikers going? You would just get mad every single time.
Ethan,
In his
Ethan,
defense,
it didn't come out until June. That's the 6th month of the
Or
year.
whatever. Whenever it came out, like he wouldn't stop talking about it for 3 months, and he was mad about it.
There is a live react to a Nintendo Direct of me popping off
That
for
it was you and me.
Nintendo for this
You got
game.
so excited, and you wouldn't stop talking about it up until release day. Oh, it's so sad.
Does anyone else have any grievances they would like to air with a video game this year?
Brianna does. I'm gonna let her talk about it.
I have a few, but if Bree wants to go first.
Okay.
See, the thing is like I'm gonna try and remain calm because I have already gone off so many times and I get really angry. My grievance would be Callisto Protocol. Again, I just want to emphasize at the very front of this that Callisto Protocol is not a bad game. In fact, I would say that it's a good game. However, between like them just completely messing up the marketing on the game and lying about what the game was to like the complete BS combat system, like why are you trying to be so creative? Like when literally if this game had had a regular combat system, it could have been one of the best games.
Yep.
Like literally could have been one of the spookiest, creepiest games ever. Instead, they're like, yeah, just hold back on the left joystick and you'll just automatically dodge everything. Because if you try to do the not auto dodge, there's too many enemies. Ethan can vouch for that because he did the not auto dodge and it was garbage. So Why are we making a brawler horror game? Nobody asked for it. Nobody wanted it. I wanted a spooky game. I'm still upset about this. The combat was so terrible. It was not scary at all because I knew if something jumped out at me, I could just literally auto dodge. I was not scared.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the same game as Brianna, Callisto Protocol, and I mean, I often play games and I either play it for maybe 30 minutes and I realize I hate it and I drop it, or I love it and I play it for 100 something hours. Right? This game I dropped after 7 hours. It was because there was so much there that I wanted to like, but it was so goddamn unplayable. And that was because of the combat system that Brianna was talking about. When you're dealing with enemies one-on-one in Callisto Protocol, it's manageable. The combat system can be boring at times. Sometimes it can get fun when you deal with combos with the guns and everything, but really you don't get that many opportunities to do it. But when you have multiple enemies coming at you at once, especially when they're mutated or more powerful, and the camera gets kind of just mushed into the back of your head and you can't see what's going on and you can't see enemies come at you, so you can't dodge them in time, it's just frustrating. And I don't think it's because of a lack of skill on me and Brianna's part. We've seen everybody in the community on survival horror games like this coming out and saying this has just been a ridiculous combat system and it's just not fair to the player and it's frustrating and it would chug at times. It would drop frame rate really bad during like heavy combat scenes, and it was rough to get through. So I dropped this game 7 hours in because I knew some tough boss battles were coming up and it just wasn't going to be fun. So yeah,
the last boss fight, literally, I don't know if you guys have ever seen me that angry. I was messaging in the Discord and I was flipping out.
happy.
I was so mad. It was horrendous. It was like the whole game was one combat system, and then for the final boss fight, they're like, "Do you remember how you learned this combat system? It's useless.
Yeah,
This is guns blazing."
Dead
so
Space 1
mad.
remake coming out in January.
That's
though.
what I was
Thank
gonna say.
God.
Sounds like you guys
Thank
chose the
God.
wrong game. Just waited. You guys waited 2 months. You would have got the better
That's
game.
what I'm saying. I think we were just so excited for Dead Space 1 remake. We're like, oh, we got to get Callisto Protocol.
I was
Like,
so
I can't
excited.
wait.
No, I was so excited for Callisto Protocol because
was
of
too,
the game
yeah.
that they promised. They promised this was going to be the scariest game you've ever played. It was going to be such a fantastic game. La la la. Like they promised all this stuff with Callisto Protocol, and they just couldn't deliver. If they had just said, "Hey, you know what? This is a brawler with some spooky elements," I would have been like, that's not for me.
Now,
Because
what
like
I will say,
it was like Sifu, but like scary and
Right.
terrible.
Yeah. What I will say to try and shed some positivity into it is that this is it Striking Distance? Is that what they're
Yes.
called?
Mhm.
Striking Distance
Yeah.
Studios. I think if they learn from their mistakes with this game, it is very clear that they have the passion to create cool horror
Mhm.
games and the desire to create cool horror games and the ability to. So I think if they
Yep.
take lessons learned, maybe stop trying to reinvent the wheel 100 times, go
Mhm.
back to your roots on what makes these games great, then I think they're going to have a slam dunk in their next game. So I'm excited to see what Glenn Schofield and his team come up with next, because this
Absolutely.
was a good first step for a brand new studio, but ultimately it was disappointing as a player for me.
Absolutely.
Completely fair. Completely fair. Kyle, I believe you were next in the putting games on blast pecking order.
Yeah, man, there were a lot of crap games that came out this year. Like you said, Mario Strikers was absolute garbage, completely terrible. Callisto, the reviews and everything I heard was so bad that I just didn't buy the game, despite being super hyped for it.
Good choice.
Lost Ark, man, what a disappointment! That game was awful.
Yeah.
I don't want to play 100 hours to get a character to max level to then play the game. Everything died in one hit. You did no damage. It was awful. That game is complete trash. Amazon, like, it makes me so nervous that Amazon Games involved with the next Tomb Raider, because nothing they've done is good. Nothing. New World sucked. Lost Ark sucked. This isn't a bad game, but it was disappointing for me. Tunic. I wanted a fun, like old school Zelda.
Yep.
Instead, I know Brie really likes Tunic. I got super frustrated by the incoherent, like, hieroglyphic, I don't know.
No, it's
system.
because I promise you the game is so beautiful. Oh,
Kyle,
no.
I'm going to back you up on this. I dropped
No.
that game too.
Yeah.
I went into it hoping
Like,
for an
say it.
experience, and I completely got exactly what I didn't want, and I dropped it.
Yep. You can ask Kevin. I'm a huge Zelda fan, like every Zelda. But I think for an hour I spent just being like, I don't know where to go, and I hate looking.
Yes.
And this was the beginning of the game, and I hate looking up like walkthroughs and stuff because it doesn't make me feel accomplished for solving these things. And the fact that the beginning of the game was so frustrating that I dropped it immediately, and I haven't gone back.
I won't talk about it right now because we're talking about disappointments, and Tunic obviously wasn't a disappointment for me. But I will say that, like, Tunic, if I were to redo my top 10 games of all time list, I think Tunic would be on there right now.
Wow, that's wild.
Marvel Snap, everyone hyped it up so much, and I finally
Disappointed?
played it.
You're the first
And
person?
man,
No, it was lame. I
sucks.
tried it this weekend.
That is not a good card game. I don't know if people just don't know what a good card game is, but this is not it. You are high on copium if you think that this is a good card game.
Oh no. The
You
Marvel
two are the
Snap fans
first.
are so scary.
Yeah, you two are the first I've ever heard say something bad about Marvel
Mhm.
Snap. I'm
I've
almost
heard
shocked
it's
here.
fantastic.
I honestly just believe that they're like, oh, it's Marvel characters. It's so good. Like, no, it's not. Like,
Could be,
you're lying to yourselves.
How similar is it to Pokemon Go?
It's
Not at all.
Not at all. It's a card game. You get a deck, and then you get to lay down a certain number of cards in 3 locations every turn, and whatever power level has the highest at each location wins.
Kevin, is it like that card game that's in Cult of the Lamb? Was it called Bones? I think you remember you had the 3 slots in the different cards, and they would all
Sounds
have
like
power
the one
levels.
from The Witcher.
Gwent?
Gwent?
Gwent, right? Because
It
it's
could be
three
kind of
lanes
like
as well.
Gwent, yeah.
I've never played Gwent, so
I never played. I don't remember. I don't think it's like I'm not nearly as negative about it as Kyle. I played it and I was like, okay, it's just a little boring. Like I was like, it's
a mobile
fine.
game.
Nah.
Maybe spoilers. We're gonna talk more about Marvel Snap later on in this episode.
Hold on.
No way.
Wait, Ethan, hold on. Can we just stop using mobile game as an excuse? Because there are
because 99.99% of them are shovelware garbage.
No, there are
there's
some
adware.
Do not talk
Adware.
about Subway Surfer.
But
Guys,
there are
Infinity
mobile
Blade
games.
was a AAA game from 2010. It was
Infinity
on your
Blade is
iPhone.
so
I swear to God, it was
Infinity Blade is
incredible. It was really good.
But there are mobile games that are
And
like
Taylor just found out stuff about it this year.
RPGs. Like,
Yeah, and I got to play them on my phone and do that.
Yes, you do.
but the issue, but for a lot of people, that's fine.
Mhm.
But the issue is that like they see these mobile games doing like trying to make actual games, and then
I will say they're putting in more of an effort. It's not like 2010 when everything was adware.
You just get crap thrown at you like Marvel Snap. Come at me, Marvel Snap fans. It's bad.
Damn. They'll come after you.
Next,
Speaking
Kyle's
of
going to be antagonizing the BTS fans.
Speaking of
they're in the military now, so you can't talk.
Speaking of BTS, Cookie Run's BTS crossover. No one has any idea what I'm talking about. Do you know what Cookie Run is?
No, you lost me. Wrap it up there, Bo.
Okay. Another card game, Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. It's not.
Oh yeah, trash.
I just did.
No, it's not. I will defend this.
Yeah, no, it's for.
I know Tom was playing that for a while.
I have over 1,000 hours in that game.
Yeah, you were playing a lot of that.
That's But why though? Like Kevin and I have played like a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh games, and one we could not care less about.
Yeah, it was disappointing.
Sounds like you're not really Yu-Gi-Oh fans.
I'm a huge Yu-Gi-Oh fan. I have boxes of Yu-Gi-Oh cards in my closet right next to me.
Burn them. Talking about Master Little Burnham.
Like Bo Burnham?
No, we're not talking about Bo Burnham again.
And the last one was all the Tiny Tina's Wonderlands DLC. They were awful. Some of the worst DLC I've ever played in my life.
So the game was fun. You liked the game though, right?
The game was fun, but it fails as a Borderlands game. It's if I had to rank it, it'd be dead last out of every Borderlands game.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Fair enough.
Right.
That's bold.
All right. That's my rant.
Good. I was about to Christopher Judge you and start playing some music and
just the piano music.
I promise, mine's is quicker.
All right.
Gotham Knights. And I'm pretty sure that's like a lot of people's most.
Kyle and I love that game, bro.
That's crazy.
You guys have all right. So I've seen your guys like interest of games, and I think that like really bottom of the barrel stuff. So I'm surprised you didn't like Mario Strikers because that seems like your cup of tea. Like bad games,
sure.
Kevin, that goes together.
Hand
Just
in
a
hand.
pile of garbage. Kevin is a 10 out of 10.
But Gotham Knights isn't a bad game. People just were like, "Oh, it runs at 30
seems like a
FPS."
solid 7.
I
I'm
played
a
10 minutes of
snob.
it.
Ugh.
I played 10 minutes of it at Extra Life. The frame rate didn't seem that bad.
No,
Yeah.
the frame rate was fine. The whole post of this was like our most disappointing game.
Yeah, okay.
So
Okay.
it was.
You
my
thought it
most
was gonna be
disappointing
better.
game. I thought it was
You
gonna
thought
be
it was gonna
better.
be better.
I
Okay.
thought it would be way
No.
better.
That's fair.
Combat
That's
was
fair.
okay. The worlds
I guess that's
wasn't
fair.
that good, and the story wasn't that good. I felt like
I will
this
agree
was-
with that.
This was
I
my
will agree
most
with that,
hyped
Tom.
game of 2022, and I was like, it was okay.
Okay, Tom. I will agree with those points then, because I wanted it to be
Absolutely.
like game of the year contender, like Batman Arkham, like that kind of level. And what we got was just like, okay, it's a mediocre story with some fun co-op gameplay and repetitive side missions.
Yeah, but something was wrong with Kevin's game. His Nightwing didn't have any cake, but everyone online just posting pictures of Nightwing, and I'm like, that's not in our game.
I remember talking to Bree about that. She's like, I might have to play Gotham Knights now. Send me pictures of Nightwing's butt. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm staring right at it, and he's flat. Like, I don't
Flat as a board.
I don't know if people were just like modding it or something, but man, he had some serious cake.
No butt
Like he took
mod.
Double
cardboard
cheeked
and
up.
just shoved it down his pants.
Taylor, do you have a game or two you would like to say was your most disappointing of the year?
Stadia.
Just the
Google's-
whole
thing.
company.
Google
Amazon
Stadia.
Luna.
R.I.P.
That's it.
I would say another disappointment that I had would be Pokemon. Not that Pokemon's bad or anything. I just like wanted it to be something different, you know?
It is something different.
Okay. Dishonorable
guys.
mention to Saints Row, because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that bought that game hoping for something, and they clearly didn't get it. I came this close to buying it, and thank God all the reviews came out fairly early and universally panned it for being one of the most garbage games ever. So shout out Saints Row.
Honestly, I should have known when Callisto was like embargo was up day of release.
The day
I
of
should have
release.
known.
Because there have
Yeah.
been good games with embargoes that drop, like Kana Bridge of Spirits dropped, their
I
embargo
love
dropped,
Kena
it, and
so
it was so
much.
good.
Oh,
Ryan
wow.
Turford liked Saints Row.
I thought it was Kina.
Ooh.
No, it's Kana.
It is
Like
Kena.
Saints
It
Row.
is Kena.
No, it's Kana. If you go
I bet you it's
listen
Kana.
to, they say her
K9?
name in the game as Kana.
Kevin, I'm
I'll-
telling
I'll-
you, I played the
I'll-
game.
I
And they say
platinumed the
Kena.
game. I platinumed the game. It's
Kevin-
Kana.
I'm looking this up.
K9.
Oh my god, it's Kana. It's 100% Kana. I'm not even backing it. Like objectively, it
No,
is
d-
Kana.
keep
What about
going. We'll come
Kanan?
back.
Okay, we're gonna move past that. All right, we're gonna move past the disappointments and get to the honorable mentions because there were lots of games on everyone's list
Yeah.
that didn't make the top 10. So I'm going to run down the ones that just barely made the cut and then the ones that were nowhere close. So 2 games came in at number 11, and that is Cult of the Lamb and Pokemon Legends Arceus, both with 10 points each.
Come on. I should have put Cult of the Lamb higher. I knew I should have. That's disappointing.
Cult of the Lamb was surprising because I voted for it, Ethan voted for it, and Brianna voted for it. So
I never played it. Sorry, guys.
I'm just saying it's surprising because there are games in the top 10 that less people played, but Cult of
Yeah.
the Lamb didn't make it
But
in.
they were-
Okay, wait.
But they were ranked
I have a
higher.
report.
Yes.
There's a PSA from the developer that unfortunately Kevin is right. It is pronounced Kana. It's like it literally says
vindicated.
PSA. Kana is pronounced KAY-NAH. It's from
Thank you.
their Twitter.
Thank you. Thank you.
Kinda.
You're welcome.
I will take all apologies in written form. Anyway, we were talking about Call of the Lamb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ethan, you were going off about how it deserved better, and I would agree.
Oh,
with you.
it does. And this absolutely belongs on any top list for games of the year. For indie games specifically, this would be in the top 3, 100%. This game combined great elements of roguelike and sort of hub world building together, both genres Kevin hates, but he played it and loved it. And I think that's a testament to how well made this game was. So shout out to Cult of the Lamb. If you guys haven't played that game yet, what a blast.
I really want to get the lamb because they sell the lamb.
Yes,
Like,
it's cute.
I want to get the
I
plush
thought you were
so
talking about
bad.
actual lamb, like meat to
No,
eat.
well,
I
they do
have
sell
had
that.
lamb
too.
before,
They
but
sell that at the grocery store. I was like, oh.
I want to get the cult.
Oh, the
yeah, I want to get the cult lamb.
Just start
Jared
your own.
Leto's
You know?
cult, baby.
It's not that hard, right?
Pokemon Legends Arceus also tied it. I think that
I
was
still need to buy that game.
I think it's a good game. I think I've gone on record. I think
solid.
it's a good Pokemon game. Introduced a lot of new mechanics that I think are good for the series, but ultimately I was disappointed with the repetitiveness of the tasks you had to do.
I maxed the Pokedex like always, caught everything, got a lot of shinies.
On Arceus.
Really enjoyed it. I loved the different using the different types of balls, like the heavy balls, and hitting the Pokemon in the back to like catch it immediately. Oh, so much fun. That game was great.
Anyone else have anything to say on those two before we move on?
I did love Cult of the Lamb, but yeah, I think like 10. I think 10 is good, like for like a top 2022 list. Like we had a lot of really good games come out this year, and Cult of the Lamb was definitely like a solid game. I really enjoyed it. It was really funny. I named my cult Bakugo Best Boy because Bakugo
I
Best
remember
Boy.
that.
And it was just like really fun to run around and like have them be like, "Will you murder me?" And I'm like, I don't want to murder you. What do you mean?
Murder me. Murder me.
These cute little fluffy animals just doing
They
all
want
these
to
horrible
die.
things.
They want to die for you.
They want to be sacrificed for the cult.
Sacrifice me.
Wait, am I the only one here that always plays the bad guy in games?
I always play good.
I usually go good.
I
There,
can't.
I go good.
there is nothing
Sometimes
more
I go over
enjoyable. Oh, okay.
Taylor's with it.
Unless I'm playing Mass Effect, then it's Renegade all the way. It's the only way to get something done.
I need to play
Alex
Mass
sees
Effect
some
2.
threat.
Got
You
to
play
punch that
Mass Effect 1, 2,
reporter
3.
in the face.
Report in the face every single game.
Anyone that hasn't played Mass Effect, it's free on PS Plus right now. Go grab
Yeah,
it.
you're crazy. It's also on Game Pass. Go play Mass Effect. All three of them, please.
I did add it to my library.
Okay.
I
That's
don't
a
know if
start.
I'll be
That's a
playing
good
it.
step. That's a good first step.
I took a step.
Can't play the game without it in the library, okay? We continue on with the honorable mentions. And if I name a game you put on your list, you can feel free to talk about it. With 9 points, we have 2 more games. Pentiment, which I believe Aman put as his second favorite game of 2022.
Whoa, he must
He's
have loved
obviously
that.
not here to talk about it, so we can't get his report.
I
But
feel like
coming
he never
in,
told anyone he played that.
yeah, he didn't tell. There's a lot on his list that he said he was going to try, like doing a cram session, and it was on his cram session list. So, guess he played it. But Taylor, your game, Halo 2, made this honorable mention.
We can't be doing that.
Let's go.
Ow.
No, I loved it, man. It's my second favorite game I played this year.
Wow.
I'm not joking. Like,
I
I
mean,
thought it was incredible.
It's great, but
Yeah,
that's
that's
an
because
old
it's one of the. That's
I don't
'cause it's
care,
one of the
dude.
greatest
I played
games
like
of all
maybe
time.
I played maybe like four games that came out this year. I'm not joking. So, yeah, Halo 2 was amazing. Arbiter's my dad. I love it all.
It's my dad.
Hell yeah.
Real good critical insight from Taylor.
Shout
there.
out. Everyone knows Halo 2 is good. You're crazy if you don't think
All right,
that.
guys, we're starting to get into
Yeah.
the weeds here.
Hey, some of those games in the weeds are good. Come on.
The next 5 are all tied at 8 points. And I'm just going to list them off. We have Stray. We have Pokemon Violet and Scarlet. We have
What?
Mountains. Yes.
Oh my
Kyle,
god.
you were the only one to give, or wait. Yes, you were the only one to put it on your list. Mountain Blade 2, Tom. Unfortunately, that one didn't make the cut.
Shout out Mountain Blade. I love it.
Tunic. Bree, unfortunately, this one did not make the
I
cut.
didn't think it would because I was pretty sure I was the only one that played it.
And Breath of the Wild from Taylor's list.
Yeah, woo!
Also one of the greatest games of all time. Kevin, go play it.
Nope. Won't do it.
Halo 2 and Breath of the Wild. That's a pretty good 2
I'm not
games
finished
to
Breath
have
of the
on your
Wild
list.
yet, but I'm like, I think 15% away or so from putting it down and beating it. And well, yeah.
So I'll be brief on Stray. It was a fantastic experience. It was a fantastic game. It was designed wonderfully, beautifully. I love it so much. Sam and I had like a good chat about it when it first came out. Exactly. So if you want to go check that out on No Limits, definitely do. I haven't really had the opportunity to talk about Tunic very much yet, so I'm going to take a brief second to talk about it. Tunic is one of the most masterfully crafted experiences I've ever experienced, ever. It very much has a world building, not world building, level design. But sorry, I guess like world design, very much like Dark Souls 1, where you keep somehow ending up in the same like spot. And you're like, how did I get here? There's a lot of really magical things like that where there's stuff hidden behind a wall, but if you walk that way and you know it's there, like all of a sudden you're in a different area that you didn't know you could reach there. Just stuff like that. So the level design is insane. The story experience is so well crafted. You basically get like the pages to a book, like it's like a game manual essentially, like an old game manual. And like as you continue the game, you get more pages, and as you get more pages, it kind of explains to you like that's how you like quote unquote level up in the game, because it'll tell you like, oh, if you press this, this is how you do this ability. And it's like, oh, I could have done this the whole time if I had just known, but because I didn't know, like this is like a level up kind of thing. So the game is very has a very bizarre design that works so well. And if you've played it and you know what the golden path is, I was so excited about that. I won't spoil it because if you don't know what it is, it's such a magical experience to uncover what the golden path is. But yeah, I platinumed that game. It's my second platinum. That's how much I loved it. I like literally went straight through the platinum on it. I really, really love
Damn.
Tunic so much. So please go play it. And if you need help with it and you don't want to look stuff up, ask me and I would be more than happy to help. So
Mountain Blade 2.
Yeah.
If you liked Kingdom Under Fire back in the day, you'll love
Ooh.
this game. You
Dude,
can partake in your battles.
you're speaking my
You
language.
can build an army
Yeah.
of up to 1,000 troops, do 1,000 versus 1,000 siege battles.
Oh,
It is awesome. Or if you don't want to battle, you can just literally be a merchant or a smith and just travel the lands and make money. You don't even have to do that. You don't have to battle. It's fun. Play your way.
Interesting.
Not in Blade 2.
play your way.
Never even heard of this game. But Kingdom Under Fire, I love.
You never
So,
played Mountain Blade Warband?
Nope.
No? All
Oh,
right.
so is this Bannerlord? Mountain Blade 2? Is
Yeah,
that what's not what it's
Bannerlord.
called? Yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah, it's like really cool. It seems like one of these big sandboxy games where you can just do whatever the hell.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Continuing down, guys. The next three tied at 7. We have NBA 2K23, Inscription, and As Dusk Falls.
Oh, really? Nobody else? I was the only one here that played it, huh?
Yeah, we're getting into the very like random
It just looks so
one-off
ugly.
I'm gonna
episodes
tell
here.
y'all, As Dusk Falls, it looks funky when you're looking at previews. I get it, but this completely reinvented the visual novel game. The amount of interaction you have with the story and the different characters and the decisions that you make and how much it affects the outcome of the story, incredible. Not only that, but the performances of this cast are top notch. One of the greatest performances in video games this year. I'm not going to say it was as good as God of War because that was nuts, but I will tell you these performances will make the hair on your arms like stick up. Bree, this game would make you cry a multitude of times. And it's emotional. It's emotional. It's impactful. It's exciting at times. It can get violent. It can get dangerous. It can get lovely. I mean, this game just puts you through an emotional roller coaster. As Dusk Falls. If y'all haven't played it yet, you can play it on your mobile phone through Game Pass. It has all those accessibility features. You can play it on PC. You can play it on Xbox. It's on Game Pass. It's gonna be there forever. It's a Xbox Game Studio game. It won, I think, what was the award? The Game for Impact Award.
Yes.
At the Game Awards. Freaking awesome game. So good. Go out and play it.
Maybe if I have just like a lot of time to play the game, I'll just pick it up.
Yeah, it's not a long game either. You could knock it out in a weekend.
Speaking of this list, Inscription is so good. I know it didn't come out this year, but I had such a special experience with it. I streamed it, which I think really added to the experience. But the game was not what I expected in the best way, where it's like you're like, oh, okay, I'm like, this is the boss. I got to beat the boss, and then it's done. And it's like you beat the boss, and then now you're actually playing the game, and that's weird. it was such a crazy experience where it's like when you beat this part that you think is the final part, it just simply unlocks the game for you. And then you go through this really bizarre experience. It's very meta. I think you have to delete a file at some point, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
I like that.
So yeah, so it's a pretty meta game. It's very interesting. It's a really wonderful experience. Even if you don't like card games, I would still check it out. Really great.
God, I need to play it. Everybody around me says it's wonderful. Still have never played it. I need to do it.
It's really good.
Let's keep rolling here with the next 5 coming in at 6 points each. We have Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga, which had 3 people vote for this game and a total of 6 points. So some of you liked it, but not enough to get it in that top 10. We have Monarch, which comes in from me. Thank you. Yes. So I will defend this game to the end of the earth. Fantastic old school JRPG. But if you don't love grinding for 20 hours, probably not for you. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands comes in. Kyle, I think that was your submission, and you already touched on that.
I almost put it on my list.
Dismantle. I don't. Whose game is this?
That was my game.
This is Tom. Never heard of it.
It's a super fun zombie survival game with a unique twist. It's sort of like Fortnite, the way you just destroy everything and build your crafting world. Pretty straightforward, fun little 10-hour game.
Okay. And rounding out that section, Ghost of Tsushima from Taylor's list.
I'm not done it yet, but it's really good.
Fantastic game.
Is Taylor's list just the top 10 like games in the last 20 years?
Yeah.
No, it's the top 10 games from the last 20 years he almost finished because he hasn't finished Ghost of Tsushima or the Zelda game. So
Nope.
Nice list.
Yeah.
Nice list.
Wow. All right, guys. It's going to go in big chunks now. We don't need to talk. We're not going to talk about all of them. Number 5, or coming in with 5 points. Horizon Forbidden West, Triangle Strategy, RimWorld, Kraken Academy, and Halo 3. Thank you, Taylor, for keeping the Halo love alive.
Top 20. That's 20 years.
Sam put Horizon Forbidden West. I only like the story. I think the rest of the game.
I think it'll probably make my top 10 once I play it. I think it would have been in my top 10, but I'm too behind.
I just hope that every Horizon game gets released right next to a monumental RPG that overshadows
they keep doing
it
that.
I love it.
They keep
I
doing
love
that.
it.
Breath of the Wild first, then Elden Ring second. What's next?
What's
It's gonna be
third?
like it's gonna be a sequel to
Bloodborne.
Bloodborne 2.
Oh god,
It's coming.
Bloodborne 2 comes out. I'm not playing anything else. I don't care what it is. That game's out. I'm playing it.
God of War 3 comes out next to Bloodborne 2. What's going on?
God of War 3 came out in 2011.
You know what I mean.
Right.
Dude.
Listen,
Or actually, it might have been 2010. But anyway, if God of War came out next to Bloodborne, I'm playing Bloodborne 2.
Okay.
Kraken Academy, incredible indie game. I'm not going to go too crazy on it because I want us to get through this. Go out and look at gameplay of it. Everyone will love it. Good indie.
Y'all need to play Triangle Strategy. I don't want the power of the triangle. What is wrong with you folks? This game is fantastic. One of the best strategy JRPGs to come out in recent memory. Beautiful HD 2D. Square Enix is killing it.
The spiritual successor to the flat RPG? Like,
It's
you know what I'm talking about?
It's not a successor to
Octopath?
Traveler. No.
Yeah, Octopath.
Okay, I love Triangle
It's the
Strategy
same
art
game.
style.
No.
That's
Same
about as much as I love
Same
about
thing.
Octopath or Triangle Strategy.
It's miles better than Octopath
They're not
Traveler.
the same game.
Same
Really?
thing.
I really
Same
want to
thing.
play
They're not.
Octopath. I own it.
Square
I bought it
Enix
day it
shovelware.
came out.
Same thing.
And then I never played it.
It's on
I
Game
played-
Pass.
It is on Game Pass. Yeah.
I say we just throw up this symbol just randomly from now on.
Power of
Then the
triangle.
conspiracy people are going to be coming.
The
in
diamond
and,
cutter,
you know,
DDP.
Yeah.
Tien Chen.
The next 6 games all got 4 points each. We have Immortality, The Diofield Chronicle. Again, Square Enix killing it. Phantom Breaker Omnia. Kyle, thank you for representing this wonderful.
Oh, that
fighting
game's so good. Best fighting game that came out this year.
I would agree with that. Deadcraft, which I don't know what that is, but it sounds like a Tom game. Yep. Spider-Man PS4. That's from Amon. I don't know why, but
I mean,
for
that
him.
game's a 10 out of 10.
Specifically
so good for
PS4.
Amon.
He ain't got no PS5 yet.
Oh, yeah,
And
he didn't.
Taylor rounding out the list here with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
I have played a ton of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe this year with the DLC and also doing staff time trials. I had a lot of fun with the game, even though I've been playing it since 2017.
And next year you'll win that racing wheel.
Can I
hope
ask?
so, guys.
So I
I'm gonna
put
come and
Immortality
win
as
it.
number 10. Who else had that on the list?
Sam.
Okay.
Is that that movie game
Yeah,
Yes.
it's
with the girl?
almost not a
FMV?
video game.
Yeah.
It is so close to not being a video game. It's basically like, like in the old like DVD players, how you just like scroll through like
Yeah, I
the
saw the
different
trailer.
chapters. It's exactly like that. It's like an old DVD player. It's really, really good, but I didn't want to really put it on my top 10 list like super high because it doesn't really feel like a video game. So
You and him were along the same lines then because it got 4 points. So
yeah.
Next 6 games. The Entropy Center. These all have 3 points, by the way. I play the game. That game's amazing.
Ooh, I
Wonderful
want to
puzzle
play that game.
It's
I
so
want to play
good.
that game badly. Portal
on
2 is
sale
like tied for my
right
favorite
now.
games. Ooh, I should get that.
Yeah, I think it's like $17 or something on sale right now. We have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge.
Oh, that game's so good.
Yeah, it is so good. Rogue Legacy 2, which I forgot came out this year. Final Fantasy 14. Bree, I assume. Yes.
I played so much of it because of the expansion that released at the end of last year. So
High on Life. Ethan, you gave it the sole 3 points. I like the game, not enough to throw it on a top 10 list. And then Taylor, Doom 2016, continuing his banger list of oldies but goodies.
Hey,
I hate Doom 2016.
Oh, come on.
I think it
Games at my
sucks.
pace. It's not what? Nah, it's
Have you
great.
you haven't played Eternal yet, have you?
No.
Okay, it's so good. I like.
Oh, I'm gonna play
a lot.
Eternal too. Don't get
Yeah.
it.
Shout out to TMNT Shredder's Revenge. What a friggin' blast. Such a good game.
True.
Mhm.
If it was longer than 2 hours, maybe it would have made my list. but
I
it's-
know, right?
it's-
I wish it was more.
was it really only 2 hours?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
beat
the
it one
main
night.
story.
Yeah, we downloaded it and then beat it in 2 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, you could go back and like replay to get all the
messed up.
stuff, but it is very
There's
like,
replay value to it.
If you just do the story, it's 2 hours long.
It's like an arcade cabinet, but in a game. Like,
How much did they charge for it?
I don't think that much. I don't know. It was on Game Pass.
That's
You know?
fine
then.
Yeah.
It's on
Games
Game
don't-
Pass.
Everything's on Game Pass. Just like our next game, these all get 2 points each. Tinykin, one of my surprise indie hits of the year. Soul Hackers 2, Kyle, you gave it 2 points. Grounded, also on Game Pass. Genshin Impact. Hello Neighbor 2, which Amon put on the list, and I can't fathom why. Because from everything I've heard, the game is atrocious.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but bad things.
Dog water, yeah.
Justice for Genshin.
And then Forza Horizon 5 rounds out that
Welcome.
section. Yeah, Sean
Give-
Capri, that's
just-
for you.
Just give me, 1 sec.
Oh no.
Genshin deserves to be higher.
Happened.
Genshin
Uh-oh, here we
deserves to
go.
be played. And it's the
Wait, if
best
it's a
game-
2, that means you put it at number 9.
No, he
I-
didn't put it.
No.
He didn't put it.
No, I didn't. My list is weird. Okay.
Okay.
Mostly because I was following it didn't come out this year rule. Man, no, you guys are all crazy.
I
I
think
spent
that was
almost
for me, right?
$4,000 in that game.
Yeah, it was from you. It
What?
was from you, Brie.
Yeah, the
I think
Genshin
that's
points
why
are for
you have a
me.
little bit of bias there. You spend a lot of money. I think that's like buyer's remorse.
I'm not biased. I support good games.
Love it.
Anyway, the final 4 with 1 point each: Temtem, Sniper Elite 5, FIFA 23, and a Medieval. Taylor, I
Yeah,
know I
New Blood
Medieval.
Interactive, baby. The people who bought you Dusk. It's a really great game. It's a retro boomer shooter, retro modern indie FPS. Please play it. Support New Blood Interactive. Dusk, a Medieval, Ultra Kill. They're all great. Dusk is incredible. The same guy who made Dusk soundtrack made Doom Eternal DLC soundtrack, Andrew Holschel.
Mm.
Kevin, what monster put Temtem on this list?
Tom.
Oh,
Yeah, it came out.
So you like-
Tom.
I like
so you like garbage? I got you.
that game was
Shade.
fun, and it was like it was an MMO. It was fun at the time. It definitely was better than Scarlet when I first played it.
No, not even. Oh,
Yeah. Scarlet wasn't even on my list. So
All right, guys.
Shout out to Sniper Elite 5, one of the most fun sniper sandboxes ever made. Go play it.
45 minutes in, we get to the list.
Is that the one where you shoot?
It's
people
an
in the
event,
balls?
Taylor.
Yes, you shoot Hitler in the
Okay.
balls. Yeah,
Cool.
you get
We should
dropped into a
time
giant
code
map
this
of Nazis.
for
I
the
am
YouTube.
I am time coding it. Don't worry. Listen, we're celebrating games here, guys. All right.
A whole
This is
year of games.
It's not all about the top 10 list.
No, it's
Mhm.
not. You're right.
it's
A
not.
lot
There
of
are a
video
lot of
games out there.
fantastic
No, it
games.
is.
Made it apparently.
about-
So
Next
about
year's
Game
going to
of
be
Game
even
Awards.
wackier.
Dude,
Yeah,
next year,
Crazy.
Next year's going to be wacky. It's gonna
Next
be
year,
a good time.
Taylor's gonna have Halo 4, Halo Reach, Halo
No,
5.
Next year,
Halo 4
Genshin's going
better
to
not
make
be
the
on the
list
list.
because you're going to put it at number 1.
Yeah. He's like, I know the
I did
rules
put it-
now.
I mean, I put a
rules.
disclaimer above my number 1 that said
Yeah.
Genshin was the best game. You just don't want to talk about it.
All right, guys, we can finally get into our top 10 list for Save the Game Media. These were the 10 games with the most votes, and we have some nice little graphics to go along with it. So I'm gonna share,
ooh,
share
are
my
cool.
screen.
Why
Have
did we
fun,
so
Say.
do that?
Here
The
we go.
budget's increasing, guys. Come
no
on.
spoiling. Make sure that they're in order.
Number
They're in order.
10.
Number 10. Vampire
Ooh.
Survivors.
Okay.
Oh, I wanted to play this game, but I didn't. I should do
Yeah,
that.
this game's awesome. This game
Everything
is
I've heard about
fantastic.
it deserves to be on a top 10. People have been
I like
going
how-
nuts about this game.
All I know is that Kevin keeps talking about the garlic, and
Garlic's OP.
and he'll just do nothing but put like a podcast on, and then just let it play for.
I literally sat my controller down, walked away, and made like food today because I was just like, I'm not gonna die. Like,
Okay,
I love that.
I just have several. I have some beef with this graphic. Some
Yeah.
people have all caps, and some people don't.
that's
Ooh,
because
that is tough.
Amon made it.
That's bad.
And
That's tough.
also, my
We
name is spelled wrong.
apologize,
Amon made it.
It sure
Amon
is.
made it.
Yeah, there's 1 E and 2 N's.
Bree, sorry. I
Aw.
should have.
No, it's cool.
Amon's in law school and
Look.
doesn't know how to.
I put
Baby
the backgrounds.
steps.
I
He
put
didn't know
the
what a rabbi
backgrounds.
was. He didn't know what a rabbi was. Baby steps, people.
He didn't know
We're
what a
doing-
rabbi was. What?
No, he
Yeah.
did it the other day. We were didn't know what it was. I was like, oh.
Oh my god, Amon.
Come on, you're not
Ay,
gonna be
ay,
my
ay.
lawyer.
Listen, Amon had this at number 3. So despite
Did you know
his
you have rights? The Constitution says you do. All right.
despite his spelling mistakes, him and Sam both put this in their top 10 list, which gets it in here. I didn't put it in my list despite me playing way too many hours, and I have like 30 achievements out of the left of the 150 or whatever.
150.
Yeah, there's a lot of achievements in this game.
God.
This game
Didn't
is
they
very
Didn't they
ridiculous.
just come out with DLC too?
Yeah, it was $2. I picked it up so I could get more achievements. It's just fun. Like, I don't know why it's fun. It gives you a dopamine rush. You're not doing anything except literally walking around and making strategic choices about what weapons you want, and like then you just watch the colors go at a certain point. You're like,
It's
I'm
like
done.
video game TikTok. It's just blasts of
Kind-
dopamine every 5
Kind
seconds.
of. Yeah, for sure.
Unreal.
But I really liked it. I think it's a good place for indie games to start. And how do I get to the next one? That's a good question.
While you're
Yeah.
opening the next one, I just want to point out that Kevin asked for a written apology about Kana, and I
Yeah.
sent him an apology that said, "I'm not sorry."
You did
and he
not.
never
Oh,
noticed.
okay, good.
That's funny. I don't
you
have
did
Discord
actually
open.
do it.
I don't have- If anyone's curious, Vampire Survivors made the list at 12 points.
Ooh. That's how math works, yeah.
We
True.
can get to our next game, which is number 9,
Bum, bum, bum.
Sifu.
Ooh, okay.
Brianna's name will be continued to be spelled wrong for the remainder of the
It's the
episode.
whole show.
Just
But
fine.
she did put this game at number 7, and Sam put it at number 2.
Damn,
So
Sam.
Bree, you are the
Really like that.
you are the speaker for Sifu. Why is this game deserve to be in the top 10 list?
This is a really fantastic experience. I think it says a lot. I hate fighting games. When I play Smash, that's literally what I do. I smash my hands on the controller and
Kevin's
just
about to
hope
go
that
hard on
something
you.
happens. So I'm really terrible at fighting games, but this is such a masterful experience. They really have a fantastic like curated level design. I'm only like through like the second level. The way that the aging system works, the way that the leveling up system works, it's really been a fantastic experience, especially considering I don't like fighting games. So
Well, it's
I
good
also
because
want
it's
to
not a
shout
fighting
out.
game.
I know he's gonna break eventually.
Yeah, it's a brawler.
Yeah,
You guys,
definitely a brawler.
They're not
beat
the
'em.
same. They're distinctly not the
guys,
same.
You guys.
No, Bree, no. I'm
Taylor,
drawing this line in the sand.
I had this
is-
argument with her the other day.
This is a
Two
brawler,
Smash
not a
Bros.
fighting game. There's no
It
no
has the
PV
exact same freaking controls as a fighting game.
No,
If this is
no,
if
they're
this
Yes.
is a fighting,
So do
if
brawlers.
this is a fighting game, Shredder's Revenge is a fighting game.
Okay, that's fine.
Fighting games
I'm not here. I
require-
really have no skin in this game, you guys. Like, I don't care about
Then
these
stop,
games.
stop naming it incorrectly.
Oh my gosh.
I knew the fighting guys
Don't
were gonna get mad when you
misgenre it,
started.
okay?
Misgenre.
We're about to have real beef here. You guys better. If you want to step up, let's step up. No, I also want to shout out that I knew that this was going to be towards the bottom end of my list because, like I said, it's not necessarily my genre.
Mhm.
But
What genre is that?
Oh my
I'm
God,
not-
Taylor,
we're
we're
not
moving
playing
on.
this game.
Taylor,
We're not playing
I'm
this game.
Moving on.
But yeah, 7 is my favorite number, so I thought that it was a fun place to put it.
Sweet.
I actually can't wait to play this again. Once it
Side
comes out
note,
on
Kev, I'm
Xbox,
so excited
I
for
am
Street
buying
Fighter
it.
6.
Why?
What?
Street Fighter.
The
Why would
Brawler?
I play an
The
action
Brawler,
game?
Street Fighter
The
6.
fighting
I
game.
knew it. I knew he was gonna say it.
All right, I'll shut up. Number
Tom.
8.
Tom, you were gonna make a point about this actually.
I was just saying, once it comes out on Xbox, I'm definitely gonna get it. I've been super
Same.
interested in this.
I'm gonna play this. Yeah.
It's just, I still have not gotten a
Ethan,
PS5
you have a
'cause I haven't wanted
PlayStation.
to. No, I haven't wanted.
I'm already past it.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, what happens if you age so like much that you would have died in like real life?
No, so you can only once you hit 70 years old, you can't age again, and you just have
Organ
to.
failure.
It's basically it's give up is what it's called, and
Oh.
it resets. And I was actually really stressed about the way that it reset, but it's actually not as like scary as I was making it out to be. Basically, you just restart the hideout from whatever age you are at.
Oh, so you don't
like,
lose like all your progress or anything when you
I
restart.
think we should delete your
Um,
save.
You lose whatever progress you've made in that hideout.
Okay.
But so for example, like so if you make it through like you have a list of hideouts, right? And you have to
Mhm.
make them go through them in quote unquote chronological order. So whatever you age you end the first hideout at is the age that you start the second hideout at, even if you reset the second hideout. So like if you're like 30 or whatever, you'll only be able to go back to 30 unless you like redo the first hideout. So yeah. And you can
Interesting.
permanently unlock abilities after you upgrade them so many times. So I would
Sounds
do that.
cool.
Sweet.
I'm here
Alright.
for it.
Well, it'll be out on Xbox in March, as they just announced and we just talked about. So, number 8, Marvel's Midnight
Nice.
Suns. Kyle, you and me
Shut up.
carrying the team here. All right, no
I want
one.
to play this game too because I want to.
I would have put it on if I would played more of it, but
Play more of it.
Yeah. This game number 3. This game came out December 2nd, and I fell quickly in love with this game. This is a Kevin Ask Kevin game. All right. This is you have the strategy-based combat grid, which is fantastic. Firaxis at their best, in their element. You get some environmental moves. The card system is phenomenal. And then you get a lot of downtime to go on dates with your heroes and do a bunch of like exploring the abbeys. And this is exactly what I want from RPGs. Like, this is why I love Fire Emblem 3 Houses so much. Persona, they took it and they made it Marvel. And I just really enjoyed my time with it. I think the game is fantastic.
yeah, this being a Kevin Ask Kevin game and me loving it is wild to me. This is a card-based, turn-based combat, and I think it's done so well and that it's so enjoyable for me. I particularly love the relationship building with the team. There's now in the areas I'm in is like power dynamics between like the Midnight Suns and the Avengers, and now the X-Men are getting involved. There's so much different things going on, and I'm absolutely loving this game. Yeah, I can't wait to keep playing this. I would have put it in my top 10, but I was only in like the first quarter of the game when I made my list, so I didn't think it would be fair for me to put it. But I knew you guys would get it in somehow, so I could talk about it. So love this game to death.
Yeah, this game is awesome, super great. I liked to be a dick to pretty much all the Avengers except Spider-Man. And then I was also a dick to every Midnight Sun except Magic. And I pretty much Magic carried the game, by the way. Magic is the best character in this game. And that's from a Spider-Man fan. But man, I couldn't there were a lot of characters in the game that I couldn't stand. Still think it was great.
This Spider-Man is mid. Awesome. I'm not gonna lie. It's a mid Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, well, one, Yuri Lowenthal does a great job. And also, he's one of the most broken characters in the entire game for combat.
Yeah.
He literally can clear the entire map in the first turn, and you would take no damage. He's great.
And I like Spider-Man. I liked his gameplay. There were characters I didn't care to play as, like Ghost Rider, for instance. He just doesn't have a play.
Nico.
He just doesn't have a play style that it's not. It's Robbie Reyes. It's not even.
If it was Nick Cage, I wouldn't shut up about Ghost Rider.
It's not even Johnny Blaze. It's Robbie Reyes.
Yeah. So I think there were characters I didn't care for, but overall it was a very good experience. I don't think it's selling that well, unfortunately. I feel like they would have said if it was doing better, and I don't think it's showing up on any MPD, so it's a little disappointing because I think for Access it's done a great
reviews
job.
Were good.
But how much were good? How much does like XCOM usually like sell though?
I don't know.
I think
it's more known IP though.
I just think it would be interesting to compare like whether the same amount of people are picking up Midnight Suns as
I think it's one of these genres where it's like if the game sells like over 1 million or a few million, it's considered doing extremely well, as opposed to a game where it's like if COD is selling less than like 80 million, people are like, nope, it's a failure this year. It's not. It's a difference of scale, in my opinion, in terms of what the expectations are.
Yeah, I think it's like also kind of in a weird middle place where a lot of the hardcore like XCOM strategy fans are like, this is just going to be some Marvel garbage. Like they're just infecting us. And then you have people that love Marvel that look at it and be like, card based, turn based. That's not what I watch Marvel for. That's not. So it's in a weird spot. But trust me, if you're a fan out there of strategy, play this game. You're gonna love
people that wrote this off as a card game or a mobile game are severely doing a disservice to this game because the way you can build your deck and then evolve cards to combine, like there is so much more to this game than just like, oh, it's got cards, it must be a mobile game. Like it's genuinely a fantastic game.
A lot of strategy.
My only complaint with the game is that sometimes I felt like I was too restricted into using the teams they wanted me to use on the missions rather than the team that I wanted to use.
Like two of the 3 characters you had to use, and you could only choose one of them.
I was like, oh, great. And then I always wanted to bring the Hunter because I felt like it was the main character. It was their story. That's really my only complaint.
Well, if anyone's curious, Sifu had 13 points and Marvel's Midnight Sun had 15 points. So we can go to number 7, which has one more point than previous. It's very close in this early going.
That's 16 points.
Yes. Number 7. Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. Kyle and I again carrying this into the top 10. I think that this game is amazing. I've never liked Musos. I don't care about Dynasty Warriors that slash in 1,000 enemies, bunch of numbers. But this is what Muso should be going forward. Taking the original IP and implementing its mechanics into the Muso formula, because they take the relationship building, they take a lot of the stuff that made Fire Emblem 3 Houses great and bring it over here, and that's why this game works so well.
Yeah, this game is just amazing. I played Hyrule Warriors, so like the Zelda version, and I think that this is better in every single way. The Hyrule Warriors was great, like with the combat and the characters you could use, but this, like Kevin said, they took the elements and the mechanics from 3 Houses like the relationship, the gift giving, all of that, the combo, like pairing up attacks that you can do in Fire Emblem where you have a support that's just attached to you. And they really just made like the giving commands to different units better. The map layouts are great. The objectives always felt like fair, I felt. And they let me play as Lysithea the entire game as soon as you get her. Like they're not like, oh, hey, you can't use this character. Like if you want to invest heavily in like certain characters, you can just play as whoever you want. It's so good. I highly recommend everyone play it. It's fun.
Mm-hmm. And anyone else? I know you guys didn't vote for them, but if anybody has any comments on these games, you can jump in. Like
I played the demo
Got
for
nothing.
Three Hopes, and from the demo, I was surprised how narratively driven it was for a Musu game, and I like that.
Okay.
Like with the evil Byleth and that whole.
Yeah, which was super interesting, taking the character, the hero of Three Houses, and then making them the villain of Three Hopes. That's a good twist.
My only comment is that the fact that both of those last two games made it, because you have your brother on here, and you and him have like similar gaming aspects.
Collusion.
It's unfair and unjust.
I didn't bring him on the anime cast. All right, bring it up with Bree and Amon or whoever brought him into the fold here.
Go talk to personnel. We don't got
HR. All right.
I do love.
We don't have
games.
HR.
I've only played like the
Bree,
Dynasty Warriors.
You're
we
HR,
can take
Bree.
them.
Do you know that?
So
I'm HR.
Yeah, you're
Yes.
HR. Nobody told you.
Oh,
HR, I'm convinced HR does nothing good. I just
They
really
don't.
not.
Yeah,
It's
HR
all
is
bad.
not.
It's supposed
HR
to
is
be
on
good.
the side
It
of the
makes it
company.
worse.
It's not on the side of the humans.
Like-
They say human resources, but it's actually company resources.
So don't trust Bree.
Yeah, maybe
Don't
I'm gonna get
trust Bree,
canceled by my
guys. She's
company now
HR.
for saying that. Well, oh well.
Cool.
Nice knowing you guys.
Rest in peace, Taylor. Number 6.
Bum.
And I told you we were going to talk about this game again. Marvel Snap comes in at number
Wow.
6.
what the heck?
Amon.
Amon.
Number one.
Amon
First you
got
misspell
this.
Bree's name, then you make this your best game of the year.
It's rough. Bad luck.
Oh my god, take a hike. Come on.
Sam put it at number 4. So he wasn't the only one that really enjoyed this game.
And gets a pass because he's my homie.
He got paid off. He works at IGN.
At least
They got
Sam
paid
put
off for
3
this game.
games above it, you know? Like
That's
he
true.
wasn't so
Yeah, that's
crazy.
true.
We kind of already touched on it in the most disappointing section.
Look, like I said, you two are the first people I have ever heard say something bad about it. So I
Same.
very much think that your guys' opinions don't matter on this. So
Right.
it makes sense for it to be in our top 10.
Mm-hmm.
I've
I
never
agree.
seen the game.
I've also heard excellent things about Marvel Snap, except for this podcast community.
Yeah, but like, I know what kind of games you guys like. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Kevin, we know what kind of games you like.
I heard positive
Speaking-
things about The Last of Us Part 2 as well, but that game's trash.
Don't bring up this device.
Let me back up. by saying
No.
the,
We
no,
can't.
the gameplay systems of The Last of Us Part 2 are some
Oh,
of the
no.
best third-person action
They
shooter
are
game
worse.
like gameplay I've ever seen. Period. Like
The
just from a strictly
shooting in The
gameplay
Last
point
of
of
Us
view.
Part 2 is worse gameplay than the original Gears of War on 360.
No. The combat in Last of Us Part 2 is so tight, dude. Come on.
So tight.
You gotta give me that.
Wait.
It is
Hold
some
on.
of the worst
And I'm
shooting
someone who
I've ever
prefers
felt in a video
Last of
game.
Us Part. I'm someone who prefers
Naughty
the first
Dog
game.
does
but
not
like-
know how to make a gun or any combat feel
No!
enjoyable in any
Dude.
way. All the Uncharted's suck at shooting.
So apparently,
Yes.
like,
Whoa,
Listen,
now
apparently
you're taking it
terrible-
too far.
hold on. We
Whoa.
are now like learning live science here that terrible opinions are hereditary.
Listen. I'm just gonna say this right now. How to derail a podcast 101. Bring up The Last of Us Part 2. Let's not do that anymore. That should be on the ban list. Politics and Last of Us Part 2.
Okay,
Don't
all right.
talk about them.
All right. Now what about Mass Effect 3? I'm just kidding.
No,
It's a good game.
Oh, don't even start.
It's a good
Don't
game.
even start on Mass Effect 3. We're not doing it.
I'm gonna go get a golf
I
club.
haven't even played it. All right, let's
We
stop.
do some
Stop.
breathing exercises right now. Ooh.
All right, guys, halfway point. Speaking of games that I like, coming in with 19 points. Number 5.
Dun, dun, dun.
Nobody Saves the World.
I thought this
Okay.
was going to be your game of the
Again,
game of
this
the
is
year or
rigged.
like
This isn't
or second
offensive.
game,
This is a good
but
game. It's a good
Thank
video
you.
game.
I need. Is it still in Game Pass at the time
Yes.
of recording?
Yeah.
Like, I need to try that too.
This game
Okay,
is
I'm not saying-
phenomenal.
I'm not saying that this is a good or bad game. I'm not trying to fight that. I'm just saying, like, look again what is making our top 10 list, because two people are of the
Okay,
same opinion.
It's the best game
But
that came
here's
out this year. What do you
here's
want
the
from me?
problem, though. It's not my fault. You all didn't play the same games, or played games from 20 years ago that aren't going to make the top 10 list.
Hey.
Some of
I
us were
actually
in
like this game.
college.
I have no. This is a good choice for number 5.
I'm
Yeah,
in
not you,
college.
Brie.
Yeah, I wasn't in college. You're right.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
But I graduated a lot more recently than you guys. So
This game is great. Brie, have you played the game?
no, I haven't. Again, I
should go
said I had
play the
nothing
game.
against this game.
The game genuinely deserves to be
I will
in the
not be
top 10
getting
of the year.
Game Pass. So
It's on PlayStation now.
okay, is it on PlayStation? Whatever, Essential.
Which tier?
No.
Whatever.
No, they don't.
I
put
don't
it
know.
on
Not an
YouTube.
A tier.
Is
It's
it on
not an A
premium?
tier.
I don't even remember.
Is it on
Extra?
premium or extra?
It's $19. All right. Here, PlayStation
Okay.
people like to buy their games. All right. So
We
head
do.
on over there. And,
I
and do that.
do you want to buy Cyberpunk?
No, it's
No.
trash.
Ooh.
No,
No, it's
buy
not.
Cyberpunk, baby. Let's
Take that
go.
back, Kevin.
It'll be on your top 10 next year. I can't wait.
All right. Refocusing. Nobody saves the world. A game where you play as a blob that just can turn into a bunch of different forms, like a necromancer, like a knight, like a horse, like a zombie. You can mix and match abilities between them. It's a dungeon crawler. This game is so much fun. This is easily Drinkbox's best game, heads and shoulders above Guacamelee, in my opinion.
Play this with a friend. Don't play it solo.
Yes, definitely.
Or
Like
else you're
you
gonna
said,
get
Oh,
stuck
well
in
then
a
I guess
grind
I
loop.
can't.
play it co-op if you can. I still think it's a good game solo, but Kevin and I 100%ed it in a weekend, and you can break the game with the combos. Like we had such combos going that our game crashed like multiple times, and I was like, oh, maybe we're summoning too many of these things. Like I don't think the game's designed for this. Let's just calm down a little. But it's the best game that came out this year.
Yeah, and it came out in January. Shocking. We started strong, and then kind of all downhill from there. Guys, we're getting into the meat and
Yeah, the meat of it.
potatoes. All right.
Top 4.
And I
My
think this is
guess,
probably
number
where
4.
this is probably where most of the discussion is going to happen.
Rats.
If I'm being honest. So number 4, and this might surprise you, and I'm going to preface this. Kyle and I did not vote for this game. We did not play this game. Modern Warfare 2.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about,
number
baby.
4.
Oh shit!
This game
So,
deserves to be on the list.
I completely forgot I put it on the list.
I like
and
the
I did not
representation.
expect it to get top 10.
I put it number 2.
That's crazy. Listen, Modern or Call of Duty is back, everybody. Okay, I'm not going to be putting Call of Duty on the list every damn year, and I haven't really played Call of Duty since the original Modern Warfare 2 back when I was like in middle school. Okay, Call of Duty is back in a big way. 3 huge game modes. Okay, they didn't need to do this much for us. Incredible content packs. It's just a blast. The gunplay is impressive. A lot of the maps are great. There's one map that really sucks. Everyone knows what it is. Lots of cars. But overall, the best Call of Duty to have come out in the last decade. It's back. More players are in it than ever. Jump into the ecosystem. It is so much goddamn fun.
Yes, Kyle.
Is One Man Army Noob Tubes back?
No.
No.
Oh well, then I don't,
Thank God. Okay, stop
don't
it.
Is
No.
Commando Pro back?
No.
No,
Oh,
get
I
out of
know.
here.
We didn't want a
I
broken
can't.
game. It
We
would
don't
have
want a
made it
broken
It would have
game.
made it to number 2.
Wait,
But
can I
yeah,
make
super
a
fun
prediction?
game. The story is also really good. I don't know if Ethan, if you
Yeah,
finished that
the
yet.
original. I beat the campaign. It's all the original. It's Soap. It's Ghost. It's all these awesome characters coming back, and it's so good, so good.
Price.
So the problem with Modern Warfare 2 is I played it at Extra Life for a bit. All right, Sean Capri gave me the controller, and it took me a little bit to get back into the rhythm of Call of Duty. But once I did, I was like, all right, this is feeling good.
You're doing
I'm having
good,
a good, I was doing well. Ethan and I were playing together. It's not a game I'm like, oh, I'm gonna drop $70 and buy it right now. Is the problem, especially like just knowing I'm not that huge into multiplayer shooters anymore, but Ethan's over here like the campaign's so good, and then I have other
Yeah.
people over here being like the campaign isn't very good at all. So I don't know who to believe.
There's bad opinions, Kevin. Bad opinions.
What's the
Kevin is
difference?
proof, living proof.
Hey, what's the difference between the multiplayer for Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2? Are they different?
Warzone is the battle royale. So Warzone is the 100 players drop into Al-Mazrah, which is the map. And then it's kind of like Fortnite where you drop in, you have to collect guns on the area. You can get like custom loadouts if they drop in care packages. And then you basically try and fight to be the last one. Or if you're in a team, to be the last team. Multiplayer is just your general arena shooters, 6v6, 12v12, or ground war, 32v32. So there's a lot of different game modes and stuff like that. So
Too many people.
it's fun. It's really fun.
Do they have
Vehicles
domination?
everywhere. Yes,
Of course.
They got
Yeah,
hard point, domination, search and destroy. All the classics are here.
And the
Search and
hazard
destroy.
point, that's the signature right now for me on Warzone. It's like you played hazard point with us, right? With me and Garrett.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a good time.
Yep. It's like escape from
Chaos.
Tarkov in a way.
Yeah,
You get to keep some of your progress every time you go through, but it's still a battle royale. It's pretty neat.
yeah, super fun.
If anyone's curious, that came in with 21 points.
I cannot believe that even made the top 10. I threw that in there, fully expecting I was the only one to put it in. That's cool.
I will say, now that we're into the top 3, there is a huge jump in points going forward. Okay, the rest you have
Why.
10 through 5 are separated by 9 points.
Wow.
4 through 10 are separated by 9 points, and then 4 and 3 are separated by 10 points. So it wasn't even close for the top 3. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Nice.
So we can get into the top 3, and this is where things get interesting, folks. Number 3, A Plague Tale Requiem.
Thank God.
Go.
This is obviously my number 1, my game of the year.
I'm happy
Because Ethan put it as his number 3, Sam number 4, and Amon number 5, and Amon number 4. So this is a game that half the panel played, half the panel rated very highly. Obviously, me being the highest of it, I think this game is the best game to come out this year from a narrative perspective, from a gameplay perspective, from a I won't say visual perspective, because I think Horizon Forbidden West is actually the most visually impressive game that came out this year. And then in terms of frame rate, God of War Ragnarok is definitely the because I don't know how Sony Santa Monica was doing crazy stuff over there with those frame rates. But this game is fantastic, top to bottom. You get the story of Amicia and Hugo continuing from Innocence, but Asobo Studio has improved every aspect of what made Innocence so good, from the narrative, from the stealth mechanics, and then they give you the option of, hey, because a lot of people don't like stealth mechanics these days, we're going to add more real combat options. You get a crossbow, you get the ability to throw pots and light people on fire. There's just so many more ways you can engage. The environments are bigger, more expansive. Like, there are things you can miss because you went down one path versus the other. And that wasn't something that happened in Innocence, because these are very linear focused games, very inspired by The Last of Us, where you have those more limiting encompassed areas, but then you have to find a way to navigate through them. This game, I can't speak highly enough. It's on Game Pass. It's on everything. Go play A Plague Tale Requiem. I'll pass it over to Ethan if he wants to chat about it.
Yeah, I mean, you took the words right out of my mouth, talking about how the set pieces are bigger and grander and the environments are exciting. The expansion of combat and traversal in this game from Innocence was incredible. And I love how it just took this incredible narrative that was sort of, the foundation was laid in A Plague Tale Innocence, and it just made it so much grander, and it went off with a bang and a huge finale in this game. I absolutely loved it that they decided to finish the story of Hugo in this game. Spoiler alert, I know this is an old game, whatever, but we have to talk about this game. The story was incredible. The performances were incredible. The set pieces and the environment, specifically the island that you play in for, I think, basically the last half of the game when they're in there. Is it the Midsummer Festival? Is that what it is? Kevin, do you remember? Or it's a version of that for whatever cult they're part of. Lots of flowers, lots of windmills going. Absolutely breathtaking. And yeah, this game was just a joy to play. Go play this. It's on Game Pass. Absolutely deserves to be in the top 3.
I know a lot of people were put off because it only runs at 30 FPS, unless you have a Series X, which and a 120 hertz display, then it can run at 40 FPS. So it does. Is it the most frame rate amazing game? No, absolutely not. But it's a linear narrative game. It doesn't need to be, in my opinion.
No. I didn't feel like it took away from the experience for me at 30 FPS.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's lots of great games that run at 30 FPS. There's lots of there's lots of bad games that run 30 FPS. FPS should not be the definitive factor in what it makes a good versus a bad game. So, anyone have
great games that
anything to
run
say?
below 30 FPS too?
No,
Then that might be a problem.
Factually false.
For as much shit that I give this game, I am looking forward to playing these games. I already own the first one. I'll probably just end up buying the second one since I don't have Game Pass. But yeah, I am looking forward to playing it.
Kevin just doxed himself live for anyone watching right now after he edits this out. That was great. We love it.
The good thing this wasn't actually.
I mean,
live.
all right,
Yeah,
let's say
right?
back to the normal recording now. Now, it's obvious at this point, guys, Elden Ring and God of War are going to be both of these
they're top two.
Going to have to be 1 and 2, right? In whatever order, but there's definitely the top 2 games in some order.
And they absolutely deserve to be.
So, yeah.
I have my guess of what it's going to be. I'm not going to say it, but
Kevin said when I submitted my list that I decided the game of the year.
He did.
Wow.
He decided the game of the year. If you guys genuinely didn't see it, then
you didn't play
great.
Elden Ring, did you?
We'll find out because number 2.
I played Elden Ring.
He did play Elden Ring. I can confirm Elden Ring made Taylor's list. All right. Number 2. God of War Ragnarok.
No, what? No. I put this game at number 1 and it still lost?
That is correct.
Wait.
That's 3 people at number 1. That doesn't make any sense.
That's wild.
Oh, because maybe I put Elden Ring too high.
Me and Tom definitely put it at number 1 for Elden Ring.
Easily. Coming in with a total of 39 points, God of War Ragnarok.
What a video game.
Wow.
Hold on.
I'm surprised. I thought it was going to be Elden Ring, God of War.
I know everyone's upset right now, but let's celebrate that this is number 2, which I mean that's what it was for the Game Awards, right? It's runner up.
I don't want to be affiliated with Keeley.
This game was friggin' amazing. What a video game. I'm going to let the rest of y'all talk about it because I think I blabbed on about it enough. And I can
20 hours in
as much justice.
And I'm having a lot of fun. And there's so much side stuff. Guys, the amount of side stuff in this game, I am shocked. Like, I just spent the last 4 hours.
Keep talking about God of War Ragnarok.
Kevin, you're not going to say a thing about God of War.
I like the part when Atreus screamed, "Kratos, you're the God of War." And then
Ragnarok.
Yeah.
I just like that finally everyone knows that it's not on Kevin's list after asking him for so long.
I know.
Wait, I'm also surprised, Kevin, The Last of Us Part 1 wasn't on your list at all.
No.
Why would it be?
Well, we can talk about that after, but
wow.
God of War Ragnarok. I mean, I want to. You guys put it at number 1, so I want to hear you guys talk about why it's number 1.
Bree, tell me about God of War Ragnarok.
It's really good.
Yeah, please.
Yeah,
so far, I'm like,
it's one of the best gaming experiences I've ever had, where I really connected with it on a very emotional level. It it started out at the beginning part with like Atreus and his animals, and all the way up to the end, and the game
no spoil.
No, yeah, of course not.
That's not a
like
spoiler,
just even the second credit roll, with blood on the snow, playing over the credits. I just probably the last hour into the first credits and then the second credits, I was just basically crying the whole time. I knew not to wear makeup when I was playing that game.
So there's a second credits, Bree?
Yeah.
There's a post-credit scene?
No.
You gotta go do another mission and then you get a second credit.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
The mission's not hard. It's not like
also avoid IGN because they literally posted spoilers in the titles of the articles for this game.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just genuinely one of the best video game experiences I've ever had. And genuinely, I know we'll talk about Elden Ring here in a second. Spoiler alert, I guess. But it blows my mind that these two games came out like the same year. Like, what a year of gaming. What a year of like some of the most fantastic experiences ever. So yeah.
And this was your first platinum?
This was my first platinum. Yeah, I platinumed
Jesus.
God of War Ragnarok. I've never platinumed a game before,
It's a
or
big
whatever
deal.
it's called on Xbox. I don't even remember what it's called.
1,000 gamer score.
100%.
Nothing.
I call it 100%.
Yeah, I've never
Yeah.
done it on that. Never done it on Steam. Yeah, this is the first time I've ever like 100%ed a game. That's how much like Ragnarok meant to me. I probably would 100% Elden Ring if it wasn't a nightmare.
Yeah.
So I won't be doing that, but
It's
no, I
too
would if I
hard.
could. So
Sam isn't here. He also put it at number 1. So I think he would echo what you were saying. I know he during the review, during him playing it, he told me like, because A Plague Tale was his, and then he was like, God of War Ragnarok is clearly his game of the year. Ethan, you put it number 2.
Yeah, this was incredible. This is why I bought a PlayStation 5, or for video games like this, these just premium experiences. That's what this game really is. It's the acting in it is emotional and impactful. It's exciting. The combat is amazing. I mean, it's more of God of War 2018. It's a little more in depth than that, but it really is more of God of War 2018, but everything's kind of grander and larger and more exciting. And that's exactly what I wanted out of this game, and I got that and then some. Like Brianna said, it was an incredibly emotional game. There's a lot of great characters you get attached to. There's a lot of heartbreak. There's a lot of excitement. I mean, it's a roller coaster. I love it. And I love just the story of Atreus growing up and becoming independent of his father and learning from his mistakes of the past. I mean, the whole storyline is just, whoa, it's
that got me
crazy.
so many times where he would do something and I'm like, oh, he's so grown up, my kid.
And he would, and just things like he would do that kind of mimicked what Kratos would do. And he would realize that and be like,
So
that's what my
cute.
father would have said, or he says the same things his father would. It's just incredible. Incredible story.
What a story.
So I didn't put it on my list, guys. Spoil now you know. I didn't make my top 10 of the year.
I think you did that out of spite.
I think he did too.
You could
Partially
have
out
put
of
that at
spite.
like 8 or 7, you know, maybe.
Partially out of spite, but partially all the games I named, I had a much better experience with.
You knew this was gonna be.
I think I had more fun with the games I put in my top 10 list than I did.
I really
God of
have
War
a hard
Ragnarok.
time. I'm not even trying to mess with you. I have a hard time telling you, like telling if you just are just trying to be so edgy because you're like, I just can't like this
No.
game because everybody else likes it. Or if you were just like actually didn't enjoy the game. And I don't
No,
know
He's
if
an
we'll ever
expert.
know.
We all know this. He's
I
an
liked
expert.
the game. I didn't love it, but go talk Luke Lore from the Xbox expansion pack, Ains from Season Gaming, Hogue Law. These are people.
He's been saving this. I just want you guys to know he's been saving this.
These are
Like, he
people.
knows who to name.
Well, they're just other community members that we podcast with.
Yeah.
They all share my feelings on God of War Ragnarok. That the game is good, not great. It's a probably an 8 out of 10 as opposed to a 10 out of 10. It has a lot of faults in the narrative, and
All I'm saying, this ain't a good advertisement for our Save the Game media here.
How?
Why not?
I don't know.
I'm not even going to play the game ever, so.
That's wild.
More terrible decisions.
I just think 2018 was a better game. That's all I said. Like, I think 2018
That's a valid opinion.
is a
I'd
better
say.
game than Ragnarok. Just like
I
a lot of
disagree,
people.
but-
Well, a lot. I mean, I think if we want to get real, I think Sony has a problem where a lot of their games are becoming bloated and a little too similar. And that's
Hey,
not
hey,
like
hey, you shut up, all right?
I'm not.
At least they have games, Kevin.
I think
said
they've
that's
had
a fair
True,
criticism.
at least they have.
I think they've had that problem for the last decade or so.
Yo,
Well, no,
if
no,
Avowed-
huh?
all right. I was about to say, talking about
This
Xbox
isn't a
listing games.
console war thing. This isn't a This is genuine.
I'm so
criticism
excited
of,
for
like,
Avowed. If Avowed comes out next
All right.
year, I'm gonna do something
say
illicit.
after today,
Yeah.
we're not talking about God of War Ragnarok anymore.
But
No,
we
it's
can't
gotta
do
go
it.
on the banned
Kevin-
list. It makes
It's got
me
to
too
go on the
angry.
banned list.
But
Yeah.
I do think Kevin has a point though about bloat in games because it's part of the reason and
Yeah.
Ubisoft is experiencing the exact same issue. Too much bloat, too much side stuff and I'm not saying God of War has this because I didn't play it, but I think it's fair that if someone feels like it's bloated and they feel like, you know, they don't want to play every single side mission, then they shouldn't have to.
Well,
I think
it's also like the collect-a-thons, I think,
No.
is the most.
Well, I love collect-a-thons. I love that's platform and collect-a-thon like Tinykin. I love those.
Yeah.
But I'm saying if you make Ragnarok 10 hours shorter, this is easily probably in my top 5 because it's a much tighter, more enjoyable experience for me.
But the
if you
thing
make
is like
that's valid.
I don't understand like the thing is that they told the story that they wanted to, right? And it's okay that it like doesn't resonate with you, but pulling stuff out of the story, in my opinion, would make the game worse. Like then we'd be missing out on a lot of these like
I think you could have skipped Ironwood.
And that's where we disagree, Bree, because I think getting rid of some stuff in the story would make it better. Because I think there's a lot of times that I know they told the story they wanted to tell, but I don't think that their story wasn't the best story that could have come.
If I had to change anything, I would say introduce Angrboda a different way and get rid of the whole Ironwood section of the game, or at least shorten it to the point where it's like you're in and out.
Yeah. Spoilers.
Didn't someone like compile all the like cutscenes or whatever, and it was
a game of the year? I'm not gonna.
No, you better not spoil it for me, Ethan. I might finish the game.
Oh yeah, you're spoiled. I forgot about you. Never mind.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But
I assume
like,
he's past that point.
Aren't like all the like cutscenes in the
past that
game
point.
like totally a ridiculous amount of length? Like it's like I don't know, like 1/4 of the total game time.
I would say God of War Ragnarok is
in narrative and cutscene stuff.
We played Yakuza
I
like a
never
Dragon.
had issues with it.
I'm sure that game has way more cutscene dialogue.
I'm sure it does. There were 2 hours. There's like hours-long intervals where I don't play Yakuza Like a Dragon, but I think I think that narrative is better, so it didn't bother me as much. Again, everyone can have their own opinions on it. I just think it's a little bloated. That's all I was getting at.
I think 40 hours is a solid time stamp for a premium AAA game, if you know what I mean. I think 40 hours is a good way to come in.
I did hear you get a really cool weapon in the game, though.
Yes, that's all I'll say. Yes.
I'm also the guy that put 180 hours into Valhalla, so I can't say I play a lot of games.
That's bloated. That
it is
a bloated game.
I mean, listen, it's not just Sony either. Like Red Dead Redemption 2, a common criticism of Red Dead 2 is that it's too long, right? Like The Last of Us Part 2, a common criticism is it's 10 hours too long. Like it's a common thing in the industry these days.
I mean, I told you Marvel Midnight Suns I thought was too long.
Yeah.
I thought it dragged. And this has been a common complaint, for a lot of games. Final Fantasy VII Remake, there's some things in there that I think
I also
slow
think
it
that
down
game is too
and
long.
drag but I mean
it's a good game. Yeah, she's mad at me. It's okay.
No, I'm not mad at you. I'm genuinely like, I'm not okay. So like genuinely like throwing away like all of the memes, like throwing away all of our fake fighting and all of that. Like, I feel like there's just something that like I can't formulate it in my brain. There's some reason why this is frustrating me and I can't like put it to words. And so until I figure out like how to articulate, because there's something about the way that you experienced God of War Ragnarok that bothers me, and I can't really articulate it. And I'm sure I'll figure it out at some point, and then I'll be like, aha, this is what I wanted to say. But at this point, like I 100% agree with you. You're right. It's okay to have different opinions. It's okay to like, and I genuinely like, it's not like I feel so sorry for you. Like I wish that game was a better experience for you. You know what I mean? Like I always want everybody to have the best experience. It's just like, I like people being happy and I like people enjoying their games. But like, there's just something that bothers me about it and I can't really put my finger on it. So I'm not mad. I was just genuinely trying to process because I'm trying to figure it out, and I have been the whole time that we've talked about God of War, and I still can't like articulate it. I'll figure it out someday.
It's gonna be like 3 months from now, and Kevin's gonna be on No Limits, and she's just gonna go, "You son of a bitch! I figured it out." She's gonna
I actually understand like the point that Bree's trying to make, not like the words that she's trying to get out. Yeah. But like sometimes when like people online are like, "Oh, I skipped all the dialogue in this game because I just cared about like the gameplay and I don't care about the story at all." I'm like, I'm like, well, I'm like, you can't have like a valid opinion on the story then if you
Do you watch movies
the
on
entire
mute?
thing. Yeah, right. I was like, you can't just go to the end as fast as possible and be like, oh, the story was garbage. I'm like, do you even know what happened? Like, do you?
Yeah, I mean, and I think part of it, like we've already like talked about it. I think part of it is that like Kevin missed out on a lot of the side quests and then was complaining that there wasn't a lot of depth in the story. But we've already touched on that, so I know it's not that, but we'll figure it out someday.
Because if it was critical of the story, it should have been in the story. That's
I will agree with that point.
Also,
if it's part of the story,
I came in under average time complete according to how long to beat. So as opposed to most games where I'm 5 to 10 hours above average time, I was below average time. So I actually spent more time with this than most people.
But
that sounded like you said it backwards. I know what you were saying, but my brain just had to do a backflip to understand that.
Words are hard.
But it's okay. It's okay. I will forgive you for having terrible opinions. And someday I will figure out this conspiracy as to how you play games, so many games. I'm going to like send you like a gift and you won't know that there's like a camera in it or something. And I'm gonna be like, this has to be in your gaming room. And I'm gonna figure it out.
Creepy.
You mean the fact that he has a guide telling him how to play every game?
I don't have a guide. I've reviewed games this year with
they don't hires a guy that stands in his living room. Go here. Go here.
I'm genuinely at this point convinced that Kevin may have time powers and he's not using them intelligently. He's using them to play games.
That's exactly what I would use it for. I'd pause time and play video games so I could get through them quicker.
It's like he could be rich, but he's instead playing video games.
I pause time and rob banks.
We'll figure it out someday, you guys.
Let's
game of the year.
Game of the year. Save the game.
What could it be, guys?
Game of the year. Game of the year. Number one, in case I didn't spoil it already, and we've talked about it.
We don't even need the graphic.
I made the graphic. We're getting the graphic.
Yeah, but look at it.
Oh, sorry, guys, for putting in number 4. Whoops.
Is this Lords of the Fallen?
Is that the Smeagol game that got delayed?
Rest in peace.
So Ethan put it number 1. Tom put it number 1.
Yeah.
Brianna put it number 2. Taylor put it number 4, and Sam put it number 3.
Okay, to be fair, like Breath of the Wild was on my top 4 games of the year list too, so it's like, I'm not.
Fair enough.
This game is better than Breath of the Wild.
Let me tell you.
Best game.
I haven't finished either of them yet, so.
Really?
So I don't want to call myself out. I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to anyways because I thought it was so funny. I have like 140 hours, I think, in Elden Ring. I think like somewhere in there. Sam has platinumed the game and he's at 120 hours.
Sam also does this for his job.
No,
he's really efficient.
No. Not a real person.
No.
He's crazy.
I got a question. Bree, you spend a lot of time in games, but what are you doing in them? All right, like you're not platinum them. Definitely.
Yeah, I spend a lot of time.
I'm gonna go buy Elden Ring and platinum it before you do.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna platinum the game. I think I would.
How fast to platinum it?
How fast you guys think I could platinum Elden Ring?
Kevin would give. You would give up
100
after
hours.
like the second boss. You would die like 9 times, and you'd be like, "I'm done."
It took me a lot of tries to beat Godric, and it's embarrassing saying that.
It took me plenty of tries too.
So Elden Ring
way more.
Legit the best game I've played since Skyrim, and that was like over 10 years ago.
It is really like the most grand video game I've played. Like at the opening of the game, like it's staggering to me how From Software made a world this big and it's detailed. That's the thing. We talk about so many open world games being shallow, but very broad and shallow in scope. Elden Ring is very large and it's dense. And I don't know how the hell From Software did it. Like the amount of things in the huge game that it is, they still fit so much stuff into it. I can't fathom how they actually achieved this.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna like at this point. Like what do they do from here? You know what I mean? Like this is kind of like I don't want to say like the peak of video games period, but it is definitely a peak. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's true. It is definitely a peak of video games where we're seeing like this insane game where it looks amazing. Like there's so much depth in the story. There's so much depth in the world building. There's like literally like they didn't even forget Patches, and I know that they wouldn't, but like even Patches is there, and it's like,
Is that a horse?
no, Patches is a character that shows up in literally every game. So
Yeah, it's like reoccurring anthropomorphic character. Well, at least in Bloodborne, it was a head on a
He's a
spider's
spider.
body.
Mhm.
But in the original Dark Souls 1, doesn't Patches appear as a regular NPC?
yeah, he's just a regular NPC in the rest
Yeah.
of the games. So,
So would you guys say
Oh,
that
except for
this is
Bloodborne?
their best game?
Yeah.
100%.
I don't know. I haven't finished it yet. I dropped after
I
25
think-
I haven't
hours.
played all
I'm
of
gonna
them.
say I'm gonna say that it's easy to say that some of the other games are your favorite experience, but I think out of like the From Software catalog, this is definitely their best game. And again, I'm separating like favorite from best. So I think it's pretty easy to say that like Elden Ring is definitely like their best game.
Yeah. I gotta say about Elden Ring, I put about 65 hours into it. 45 of those hours were within probably about 3 or 4 days. I mean, I haven't played a video game like that since I was a kid. My
Mhm.
fingers were cramping. I was getting tennis elbow. Like things were getting
Mhm.
bad because I was playing it so much.
Yeah.
And
So-
not
Yep.
only is that impressive for somebody who plays video games their entire life to be so sucked into a game like that again. I never liked Souls-like games before this game. This is the first Souls-like game that I've personally bought, sat down, and started playing. And the fact that this game got me to get into the genre, I think, was incredible. And that's why I put it at number one, because it showed me how incredible this genre is. And I think that's the story of a lot of people who played Elden Ring. This is their biggest release yet. And now I'm looking out for Souls-likes, but I see all these like AA Souls-likes that come out, or I've tried a few here and there, but I think From Software just spoiled me, so now I can't play any of those. I'm just waiting for
From
the next
Software
Elden
truly
Ring.
is like, I know that like obviously they are the ones that made Dark Souls, but they truly
Yeah.
are like the Dark Souls experience. There are games that have very similar experiences and do it very well. Like I think Hollow Knight is a fantastic example.
I need to
But
play that.
It's so
yes, you
hard.
do. It's so good. But yeah, I
couldn't do
think I think that this is a really great place to start for people if you're wanting to get into the Souls-like experience. Another
Mhm.
place that you could start is with the Demon Souls remake. I think that that's also a solid place to start. So, if you want to.
So yeah,
Kevin, if
I've
they
beaten
put-
this
if-
game like 4 times, and I have like 150
Wow.
hours in it.
Wild.
Still don't have a platinum in it. I have no, or 100%.
I haven't
have
beaten
no
it
desire.
once.
Really? With 120 hours?
Yeah, 140.
What
yeah.
is she doing? The people need to know.
Wait,
Dying
let me
a
double check.
lot.
People
Tom, is there a photo mode? Is she taking pictures?
The game's not even that good looking. What's it take pictures of?
Oh, don't say
What
the
I-
game's not good looking.
Oh,
It's
the
pretty.
God Rays, dude, they looked cute.
This
Did you
game
do any
is
cosplay?
so beautiful.
They look
I'm
cute.
gonna be honest with you. I don't think I want to admit it, but what I really think the issue is I think I'm really bad at games. Like really bad at games.
Well, you could just be bad at Souls. Everyone's bad at a Souls like, you know.
You
Well, I
beat
shouldn't
Tunic.
say everyone.
played-
There's some pretty
I've-
gnarly
Yeah,
people.
well,
beat-
Tunic
you
isn't
beat
that
Tunic.
hard.
Yeah, okay, well.
I heard it was
Tunic
hard.
isn't
It
that
is.
hard. I have to
It's
tell
good.
you,
Tunic's
Eldest
hard.
Souls is what I've been
Tunic's
playing
hard.
recently, and I've been getting very angry. Let's see.
Anyway,
If this
I'm
game
trying
comes
to
to
find
Game
if it's
Pass,
on
I'll
the-
try it.
that's
It's
where
not
I'm
coming
at.
to Game Pass. No
Yeah,
chance.
No, it sold like 15 plus million copies in like.
And it'll sell millions
months
for
or
the next
whatever.
10 years. Every year it'll sell.
Oh,
more
and From
millions more.
Software DLC is always incredible. So this game's about to fly off more when the DLC comes out.
Oh
And
man!
it
like,
was just an
Bloodborne-
update like 2 weeks
Bloodborne
ago.
DLC is so best. My favorite boss fighting games in the Bloodborne DLC, Lady Maria.
But
Man,
weren't the
I can't
Demon
imagine
Souls
what it'll be
games
like
on
for this
Game
game.
Pass?
Demon Souls
Or
was
Dark
never
Souls
on
games?
PlayStation.
Dark Souls.
I don't know if they were.
No,
No,
I don't think there's any
no,
From
No, From Software
on
games
here.
never made to Game Pass. Maybe
Yeah.
Armored.
They don't
Armored
really
Core
put them on
might
sale very
eventually.
often.
Oh
either.
yeah, Armored Core. That's
Elden
coming
Ring
out.
Exactly. Yeah.
Elden Ring is on sale for the first time ever right now for
What?
$40.
No,
I'm a
that's not on.
fan
didn't need to
of
put it on
FromSoft,
sale.
but I hate Armored
On
Core
console.
so much.
What is it?
You
40
hate
bucks?
Armored Core?
I hate any games that involves like big mechs.
I
I
love
don't like
mechs.
Immediately, I
mechs
would not
either,
play.
but
Titanfall 2 campaign.
Mechs suck.
chef's
Animes
kiss.
with mechs suck, and that's it. There you go. Oh, Transformers.
Okay.
also
amen.
suck.
It's true.
Whoa, Titanfall, dude, Titanfall 2 campaign. Come on. Come on. It is so good.
I'm with you,
It's
Tom.
so
Mechs suck.
goddamn good.
They're boring.
Everything you just said is wrong.
It
Everything.
is
Pacific Rim is the
really-
only thing
it's
I
one of
want
the
to
best
see.
You
FPS
mechs
must
in.
love
campaigns.
mechs. I'm sorry.
If
I don't
we're
even
put-
like mechs that much.
if we're talking about Elden Ring, though, like
Mhm.
I remember when the reviews dropped, and I was texting Kyle in a group chat, and I'm like, guys, this game's getting a 95 right now. And I was like, there's
No,
just
97, right?
I think it was 97 originally, but then I think
Yeah.
it dropped. I think it's sitting at a 95 now. And I was
Yeah.
like, there's just no way this game is possibly that good, right? And it was one of those like industry shaking moments, and then people just haven't
Mhm.
shut up about it for
Such
the
a big
last
deal.
12 months. So I'm like, I guess it is that big.
I
That
don't
buzz
think
that
that
was
people are ever
around
going
it.
to shut up about it.
Yeah, that buzz that was around it at leading up to its release and at release and a little bit after. I mean, it really was like an industry defining thing. We were witnessing history when this game came out. We were playing history when we were playing this game. Game developers are
Uh-huh.
going to look at this game to inspiration for decades to come, and I think I can say
Literally.
that without a doubt. It's so incredible what happened this year. People that say this was a bad year for gaming, you're not gamers. Sorry.
The other thing is like there's just so many moments that like if you weren't like playing it or at least like paying attention to what was going on that you really missed a lot of like cultural moments too. Like for
Mhm.
example, like Let Me Solo Her won
Yeah.
like he won like
Let me
best gamer of
solo-
the year and stuff.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if he's not in the next Dark Souls game or like Elden Ring game or in the DLC or
Yeah, he's
something,
got to be like a boss
I will
or
be
something.
shocked. But like what an icon. You know
So
what I mean?
incredible. Love him.
Yeah.
Can
Did you
what
see he
is this-
retired recently?
No, I didn't.
Tired.
How do you retire?
He's just not doing it
hanging up the
anymore.
boots. I can't do it.
But okay, so what's the story of Elden Ring?
Okay, so the story of Souls games is it's not like actually I'll let Brie explain. She's probably better at it.
You can go ahead,
She has a
Taylor.
degree in it. I mean,
Taylor,
Uh,
Taylor, paint me a
me,
word picture.
I don't. Well, I'm only 25 hours in, so maybe I don't know. I don't know.
I mean,
Okay.
the
So, Bree,
story of Elden Ring-
Strong start.
oh wait,
Tom's
no,
got it.
Tom
Tom's
did
got
beat
it.
it 4 times. So
Yeah,
maybe
4 times. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah.
So, the game really does not do storytelling well in like cutscenes or anything. It's all with the world.
Item descriptions are
It's
huge.
all
yeah.
The item
diegetic
descriptions and
storytelling.
world
Mhm.
building, and that's
Okay.
really where it is. And it's telling you what the story is as a spoiler in of itself. I feel like that's something you have to experience because that's
Mhm.
really like most of the game. You're exploring the entire world and figuring out these little pieces as you go to figure out what the hell you're actually doing there.
Right.
And even then, you still might not know what the hell you're doing there. But I loved it every moment of it.
Yeah, the thing is with like all Dark Souls games, they're very much like they don't give you the story like most games do in a traditional sense. When like Dark Souls and Demon Souls came out, there was a huge shift in the gaming industry where they started using item descriptions as actual storytelling, right? And so now like when you I think this is actually a really cool thing, but like when you are looking to apply for like narrative positions, a lot of the times part of your portfolio should be item descriptions and like telling story through item descriptions and weapon descriptions and stuff like that because it created such a huge shift in the industry to like add this extra piece of story that's really like prolific across like all games now, not all games but a huge chunk of games. So yeah, so that's kind of how you're experiencing the story where you'll like walk into a room and there's this person and they're like they'll sometimes give you a little cutscene, most of the time not. They try and fight you and then you're like, well, I killed you, what just happened? And then you have to like pick up their weapon or you have to turn in like essentially like a soul to like find their weapon or their armor or something like that, and then you can read the description to figure out who they were and like how they're related to the world and stuff like that. So you really have to search and work for the story in a way that you don't have to with a lot of games. And it's not an experience for everybody, but it is a very magical experience for those that like it.
Yeah,
Every single thing you said just sounds so great, but I wish these games weren't so hard.
I watched Mr. Badbit, friend of the show from the trophy room, play as a mage the other day for like 3 hours, and he was like, being a mage is so easy, and he's just killing everything. So he's like, it's broken. He's like, I don't know why I didn't do this sooner.
There are some Dark Souls games where like there's a really strong meta, or sorry, FromSoft games where there's a really, really strong meta. Like in Demon Souls, magic is like basically broken. It is incredibly easy to plow through a game with magic. So Kyle, if you want to get into the series with a low barrier to entry, it might be worth looking up some meta builds for maybe one of these earlier Souls games. probably the most accessible to
Yes.
play just on any platform is Dark Souls Remastered. Like Demon's Souls, you have to have a PS5, unfortunately.
Mhm.
But like maybe
Which
just
he does.
trying to look up the
Mhm.
most. Oh wait, you have PS5? Oh yeah,
Yeah, I have a
maybe
PS5.
just do a
Let's see.
Demon Souls.
The Genshin machine.
Maybe trying either a Demon Souls build with a meta magic build or Dark Souls 1 with another meta build might be a good starting point if you just want to check it out.
My recommendation
played-
would be to start with Demon Souls.
If I played
No,
any of these
start with
games,
Elden Ring. Start with the best.
Kevin knows that I would only play Magic.
What would the best be, Tom?
Elden Ring.
Elden Ring.
Elden
Number 1, baby.
All right.
So the other thing that I do want to
Number
say is that, like, just in general, like if you're talking about like Dark Souls games, like the number one thing, like the number one like easiest is typically going to be the magic system. So if you're looking for like an easier experience, magic is going to be number one. After that, you're going to be doing shields. And then after that, it's the dodge. So the people that are like the quote unquote true players, like don't use shields and you just run around with like weapons.
Bleed
There is no
build,
true player.
no shields.
There's-
So
yeah.
and that's again just like
use shields.
quotes for audio listeners, like true players. Like I really like don't
Air
care how you
quote.
play,
Yeah,
but
fun.
like
Yeah.
that's like the Dark Souls experience is to run around with no shields.
And in Bloodborne,
Completely
there are-
naked.
And in Bloodborne, there are no shields, and the game even pokes fun at it by making the only shield available in the game as a broken piece of wood.
Mhm.
Bloodborne is very much faster paced and it's built on parrying enemies and
Mhm.
dodging. It's so much faster than all the other games, and it's very much built on being quick on your feet.
Sekiro's
The-
faster.
Or sorry, my bad. Sekiro.
Sekiro
Yeah,
is
Sekiro
so
would be
fast.
faster. That's a lie. But like Sekiro and
Sekiro's
Bloodborne,
hard.
does Sekiro have a quip load? I know Bloodborne doesn't.
Sekiro has. I haven't played a ton of Sekiro because it makes me really angry. But Sekiro
Oh.
is freaking hard, is what I'll
All
tell
of them
you.
make me
Yeah, it's
angry.
hard, but Bloodborne and Sekiro are a lot faster paced than the other
Yeah.
than Dark Souls 1 through 3 or Demon Souls. So
Yeah. So my recommendation, I mean, if there's one that really draws you, you're like, you know what, the aesthetic of Bloodborne is really what I want to experience.
it's so cool, guys. Bloodborne is
throw
so cool.
throw it out. Just like, throw out like the list of like, you know what, I have to experience Demon Souls first. Who cares? Just start with Bloodborne. But if you don't know where to start and you're just wanting to get into like a Souls like experience, and you're wanting to play From Software, like Demon Souls is for me the way to go because you still have that. It's still not linear because Dark Souls games never are, but it's like a more
Yeah.
linear experience than Elden Ring where they just like let you out in the world and they're like, run around.
Both those games are on
So-
PS Plus, by the way.
And I'm happy to help if you want to start.
Co-op.
Cool.
Anyone curious?
Kevin. Reel it
Elden
in.
Ring. Elden Ring came in with a total of 44 points, so it won by 5.
Nice.
Wow.
If I
5
put it
points.
at number 10 on my list, or if I put it number 9, it would have tied with God of War. If I put it number 10, it would have lost to God of War. So there's
I
really no
buy it.
realistic way Elden Ring would have lost. I wouldn't have put it that low. So I'm sorry, guys.
What do you do with ties, Kevin?
We include both of them, but we didn't have any ties this year. So, as I said, number 1 is Elden Ring. Number 2, God of War Ragnarok. Number 3, A Plague Tale Requiem. Number 4, Modern Warfare 2. Number 5, Nobody Saves the World. Number 6, Marvel Snap. Number 7, Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. Number 8, Marvel's Midnight Suns. Number 9, Sifu. Number 10, Vampire Survivors. I think this is a very diverse list. You got
It's a
the heavy
solid
hitters
list, yeah.
at the top.
No.
You got the
Indie
indies.
gems.
You got some indie gems. You got some RPG-ness in here, and you got a mobile game even. So very
Look at that. We're
reflective.
diverse.
Halo
of the
2,
industry.
second best game of 2022.
Hell yeah, brother.
Can't wait for you to finish the fight, Taylor.
I already beat Halo 3.
Oh,
It's not-
okay, cool.
Now I'm on ODST.
Next year he's gonna be like, guys, have you heard about this game called Gears of War? So good.
That might happen. That's realistic.
It'd be like the
Yeah.
shooting in Gears of War 1's better than I've ever done.
Guys, I just got to Gears 2. I'm an emotional wreck. I can't.
Oh, yeah.
They won't let Gears 2 and Gears 3 are not available on PC. So either have to stream them or get a Series
Really?
X. Yeah,
Mm.
it's so stupid.
That's unfortunate.
And I heard from many people that Gears 2 and Gears 3 are like by so many people's accounts, some of their favorite in the series, or at least Gears 2 or
Yes.
something. Yeah.
Gears 2.
is
Overrated
the best one.
series.
Tom, get
You
out of here.
guys-
Nobody's asking you.
Have you thought about what the top 10 is going to look like next year? We have Hogwarts Legacy. We have Resident Evil 4. We
Starfield.
have
Avowed,
Dead Space Remake,
Atomic Heart,
Starfield, Avowed,
Atomic Heart, guys. Am I the only one here stupid hype for Atomic
Final
Heart?
I'm
Fantasy
so hyped for
16,
And Avowed,
the next
Stalker
Legend of
2,
Zelda.
Replaced. I have so much Xbox stuff.
But let's be real here. 3 of them are going to be complete flops, right? They're going to come out broken and nobody's going
I
to
was
like
gonna say Kyle told me he's not excited for any game next year because he doesn't have faith in anything.
Not even Starfield. Me neither. I have no faith in it. By the
I
way,
mean, Fire Emblem Engage, Kirby Return to Dreamland DX. Come on.
Let's go, Taylor. You and me
come
get it
on.
number one.
All right.
My
here
faith,
for
my faith in games over the last year is basically gone. I thought this was.
I thought
one
we
of
were
the
looking
worst
forward to
years.
Infinity Nikki.
We are magical
okay.
girls. You and me, we got this.
Yes, I'm so excited. Magical Girls
but-
MMO with dress up
Oh.
and cottage
wait.
in the woods.
so you
Can't
don't even have
wait.
faith in like Hogwarts Legacy. Like they were willing to show off hours and hours of
There's a
gameplay.
lot of gameplay.
I
that looks
have
good.
faith that they made a good game. I don't have faith that it's going to get fairly judged by critics or the industry.
Well, that's a different.
Well,
Oh,
it only
that's
matters
true.
what we judge
That's
it.
true.
Um,
We're gonna judge
I-
it.
If we
I'm
get
talking
on the
about our
list.
top 10.
Yeah.
I have faith in Zelda, but I don't think
Mm.
that it's going to run very well unless they put out a new Switch.
Yeah.
Nintendo, please.
And that's
And I
it,
have faith
Kyle.
and I have faith in
Metroid
Kyle.
Prime 4, please.
Stop.
Please. Metroid
It
Prime
doesn't-
Remake, even.
Tears
Bloodborne
of the
2,
Kingdom
Metroid Prime 4.
On
It doesn't exist,
PC.
Taylor.
Oh, please.
Metroid Dread was my
Legend
game of the year
of
2021, for the record. So,
Oh my God, Metroid Dread is so
was
good.
Amazing. That
So
would be
good.
on this super high on the list right now.
oh my god.
I kind of wish it was a little bit scarier.
Don't worry. But Nintendo, Metroid doesn't exist
What's
according
scary?
to Nintendo.
Are you
so,
kidding me?
Yeah.
It's the only game I've ever played
Is
on my
it
Nintendo.
scarier?
It's the only game on my Nintendo that I've ever been scared playing.
Oh man,
is
I
the
would
damn
sweat. So
robot
I had to
thing.
put the controller down because I'd be sweating because I was be
Oh,
so
it's
stressed.
rough.
I'd be like, ah.
I have
Whoa,
never
Emmy,
played a
don't kill
Metroid
me.
game.
But
Ow.
all right.
Did you guys ever think that maybe you just get scared too easily over like nothing?
Yes.
I think I do when it
know
comes
I
to
do.
horror.
Okay.
Oh, like
Okay.
when Midsummer in the scene where some people's legs break. I was
Oh,
like,
I hate that movie.
I went so hard, and I'm like, God damn it, guys. God.
It's one of the best scenes in the movie.
Yeah.
Well, 2023 looks great. It looks stacked on paper. We'll see if it turns out that way. We're starting off pretty early. January, February, and March are already got some
Fire
jam-packed
Emblem.
April's the
games,
only
heavy
break
hitters.
I'm seeing so far.
Huh?
One Piece Odyssey.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
You know,
Oh,
it
yeah, that's
actually looks
coming out.
nice.
It does. Thank you, Tom. Thank you.
Excited.
It looks good. It looks
Street
good.
Fighter
we're all
6
playing
in May, or is it June? When does the game come out?
June.
The Brawler?
Have you getting it?
The brawler.
No.
Oh, come on.
No.
Aw.
Maybe I'll think about it. Maybe.
And then
Alright.
Spider-Man 2 in the fall.
Oh yeah, how's the fight stick?
Well, we can talk offline about the fight. It's good. It's good. It's good.
What? All right,
It's
We're,
good,
get,
it's
we're
good.
getting off topic.
Yeah.
We've been off topic.
Yeah,
Sure.
we'll see what happens next year. I don't remember what our game of the year last year was, but this is our top 10. If you're looking for games to play that you missed somehow this year, go play these ones before you play anything else. But we're gonna round this out. So Kyle, we're gonna go start with you. Where can people find you?
In the Discord, or I sometimes post random Genshin videos at Ghostly March on YouTube.
Cool.
Just for
Everyone
fun.
Go drop him a sub.
Also play Genshin Impact.
I don't know about that last thing, but Tom, where can people
Shout
find
out.
you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at Alpaca Tom or on Xbox at Way Too Greasy.
Hell yeah.
Taylor, where can people find you?
The Discord. Woo!
Ethan.
Discord. Come say hi.
I'm just gonna say come find us in the Discord from now on. Bree, where can
I
people
know,
find
right?
you?
You can find me at Fabulous Brianna
On Twitter
and on No Limits.
and on
everything.
Twitch. I'm on No Limits. Yeah, that's true.
Oh,
and
I'm
I'm
on X Talk.
And I host The Leftovers, a show where I talk about cooking
Patreon exclusive.
and
Pay us money.
yeah.
There's a wonderful
What?
episode.
What
this week.
money?
There's
Not
a
Bree and
money
I
yet.
talk about anime sometimes.
We do.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
And we talk
You
about
can-
Nintendo.
And me, Kevin, and Taylor talk about Nintendo.
What is
Yeah.
it? Are we plugging that?
Let's list
Book
every show we
Bonanza?
ever have done.
Yeah,
you
let's
know?
plug
Every
the
show
whole
we
channel.
ever
List every show we've ever done.
Oh my god. You can follow me at the Muffin Mon on Twitter, 1 to 7, I-O-7-A. Follow us at Save Game Media on Twitter to stay up to date with all of our latest. Until next time, we hope you enjoyed gaming in 2022, and we'll see you for 2023. Goodbye.
Bye.